working. Let's go, baby! Bomb arrows to the rescue. Ha! No way! Ah! No! Oh, that assist, baby! No! Don't touch him. No! You... What did I do? That's an accident. Freaking beetle. I got the triple collapse! Oh! Ah! Oh, Dinell, go to the fire thing. It teleports us.
I want my money back.
I trusted you! Trombone. This one is trombone. Yo, I got it! Yes! Let's go! Yeah! 24 hours done. 24 hours finished. Oh, time to beat 23 hours, 28 minutes. Oh my god! We did it! We did it! Oh my god! I couldn't have done it without you guys.
Holy shit!
Wait, it went through? I gave him 50 bucks. Yo! I changed the camera. Yo! I forgot the camera's here now. What's up, Ping Pong? What's up, Doctor? I don't know if this music is too loud or not. But how are you guys doing? You're not gonna get Elden Ring? Aw. Yeah, I saw you playing ping pong. I was able to, I heard you. I didn't hear anything you were saying, but I heard there was some audio. I would check the VOD afterwards. Try to enable VODs on your Twitch channel so you could test record. What's up, Dinell? Hey, it's Dinell, the newest moderator to the team. Madenell. What's up, Dalton? Yeah. You beat that game, right? Very nice. I was playing Bloodborne. It's hard. What a loser. Okay, for those wondering what we're doing today. Today, we're going to play Elden Ring, and we're going to give $5 to like the human, and we're gonna give $5 to refugees from Ukraine for every death we get in Elden Ring. I'm gonna like talk about who we're giving it to more later, but it's not like any political thing or anything. It's like to refugees of war, you know. I just thought it would be a cool idea to do. So yeah. Let's get started. I had to buy the game though. So we'll see how it goes. And this is the audio from the game. Let's go. I don't know if it's, but yeah, cool idea, man. Thanks. Yeah, I thought it would be a cool idea. I want to do more cool ideas, you know? Only thing is, the camera is facing the other way, so I gotta get used to that for this stream, but it is what it is. Yeah, I thought you were doing a 24-hour stream though, Dalton. And ping pong, you're pretty decent at ping pong. I was like, oh, it reminded me of me when I was younger. Cause I started playing ping pong when I was like 13, 12, something like that. Thank you. Yeah. And your dad is good. He was like teaching you a little bit, I think, at a certain point. All right. This music sounds so intense. Jesus Christ. I just accepted to giving my life away. What the hell was that? Okay. Welcome to the online thing. New game. Toggle auto lock. I'm just gonna leave everything on what it is. Just brightness until image on the right is barely visible. How do I? Oh. I don't want it to be too dark. We're just gonna keep it like this. IQ Plus, let's go. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I streamed for 10 hours today and 14 hours yesterday. Jeez, that's a lot of hours, man. That's a lot of dedication. But you beat the game, which is awesome. I've accepted that Ping Pong Family is not Nathan. Yes. Oh, how many things are there in this game? Ooh. Whoa. Jesus. There's so many, like... What the hell is this? Oh, it's a prisoner. Oh, hell yeah. Let's go. You know who I'm picking. You know who I'm picking. We're gonna go with this. Do we want type A or type B? A, B. We're gonna go A because we could see his nipples. None entered. Oh, that's my name. Cool game. I beat it on the easiest difficulty. I'm trying to do it on the harder ones. Oh, wow. How many difficulties are there? Whoa, nipple stream. Nipple stream. I'm gonna be pink. Body type has no bearing on ability. This is such an unrealistic game. Oh. Why is his face the same? Wait, can you zoom in? Oh, you can. You guys can't even see his face because my head is in the way. What if I do that? Once you beat the game on all difficulties, you can change the difficulty on the fourth one. So how many have you beat on the easiest? So you cool. Sus? Yeah, what the hell? Very sus. Okay, anyway, we're gonna go type A. Yeah, we're gonna go type A. Age. What the hell, bro? I love how everything is saggy except his butt. His butt's looking pretty good. Look at that. And we're gonna keep him young. The other ones look so cool. Do we really want the suck? He's still level 1. All the other ones are higher. But he's the most balanced. He's the most balanced. Keepsake. Yeah, I don't know what that means. We'll just leave it. Whoa. What the hell? Oh, this is cool. Fine ass man. Samurai looks cool to me. Yeah, but this is good for the memes. Jesus. Okay, we'll pick someone. Let me actually go with someone I would want to go with. Damn, Vagabond looks sick. Warrior looks sick. Hero looks sick. Bandit looks cool. Astrologer. What? How does an astrologer fight? Prophet. Yo! Why does he look so cool? Bro. Samurai does look cool. Prisoner looks dumb, but he has a sword. Confessor. What are these names? A church spy. Nah, we're gonna go with this guy. Keepsake. What are we gonna do? He has... Oh, they do different things. Increase his health. Used to gain... Let's increase health. We're gonna need that, right? So we don't give money to Ukraine. Just kidding. We'll go with none. Yeah, you're welcome, Dalton. Choose base template. Yeah, this is how we change if he's white or black or gray. I can't pick this one, right? What do I I don't know how to. You know what? We'll go with this one. This looks most like me anyway. Oh no, we already did this. Voice. Wait, we could make him have an old voice. Let's do that. We could change his skin color. Oh. Yeah, let's not do that one. Jesus. You could literally pick any color you want. What is this? We're gonna leave it on default. Let's go. This is the fun stuff. Damn. Nipple stream. Sorry. Adjust face template. Bone structure. Ugh. Yeah, let's go with that. Yo, he's strong, bro. He's strong. Yeah. What is this even doing? Guys, what is this doing? Oh, God. Let's go. Let's do that. Apparent age. 205. Make him look like a baby. Yeah, let's not do that one, doctor. Ooh. Oh, that's good. Facial aesthetic. Masculine? Nah. Let's go feminine. Jesus Christ, he looks beautiful. If you're feminine, you're happier. Look at that smile. Okay. Bone structure. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Okay. Face structure. Jesus, how many things could you change here? Enemies will want to kiss him. Why does it look like that? I don't know. Hell yeah, let's go. Nose, forehead. He's mad. He's not happy. Face protrusion. Yo, look at him, bro. You can barely see his eyes. He's pissed off. He's like, he wants to fight for Ukraine. I don't know. Vertical face ratio. Damn, this is a mega Chad, baby. This is a mega Chad. You put a mega Chad next to his face, and it's like the same person. His horizontal face ratio will stay the same. You know, we don't want to do it too much. Forehead depth. Try building Kanye. Probably can. This is some pretty intense stuff. He has a really small nose. It's because I'm Jewish. I'm trying to, like, you know, build something to counter what I am. Bridge protrusion. Oh. He got punched in the face as a kid, so his nose in the middle got, like, bigger. But on the bottom, it got smaller. Or it stayed the same, and it was really small. Oh my God, you can't see up his nostrils. Oh, nipple stream. Sorry, his nipples keep showing. Nose bridge width. Oh. There we go. That looks good. Pete Davidson. Someone already did. It would be funny for TikToks. You're not wrong. It would just be a lot of work that I probably can't go for. Hey, we'll build our own man here. Eye position. There we go. Wait. No. Gotta make them large eyes. Let's go, baby. He's ready for war. Eye slant. Oh, he's an anime boy now. He's turning into an anime boy. He actually looks so good. What am I doing? What is this? Oh my God. So beautiful. Eye spacing. Nah, we gotta have them wide. There we go. Actually, it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. There we go. Nose. Oh my god, there are way too many things here. We're gonna play with a few. Don't be sorry if I get a notification you went live. Don't worry. That's fine. I get notifications on my phone, and I don't look at my phone much when I stream. Oh my god, he looks sexy. Nostril size. We gotta actually make his nose a bit smaller here. That's good. Looks a bit like a penis. I don't know if that's TOS. If someone IRL looks like this, I apologize that you have to look like this. Okay, cheeks. This is where things get very interesting. Bro, do you even see anything changing? It looks like nothing is changing.
Hello there.
Yo, what's up, Chris? I am playing it. What do you think of my character? He looks pretty cool, right? That was Mexico. Oh my god. He's ready for combat. Oh. Wait, is there a way to do this faster? I could press... Oh my god, there's a way to do this faster. Okay. Oh, he's ready to kiss you on the lips. Look at that. You gotta have them thick lips. There you go. Yeah, I'm pressing L1 or R2. Minecraft villager moment. Penis nose. Yeah, pretty much. Kinda cool. Mouth protrude. Oh, there we go. Let's give him a bit of a smile. Okay, he doesn't want to smile. Oh, he is mad. He's like, that's what it looks like he's doing. Oh, that's a French kiss right there. Oh, that looks so good. What the hell am I doing? Okay, we have only a few things left. In length. There we go. No, his chin has to be big. Oh, he's a Chad. Oh, that looks so good. Huh? I'm not muted. Hello? I'm not muted. Unless you meant the game. But the game's just not loud enough right now. Chin size. There we go. And maybe I'm talking very low. I'm just really, really into building this right now. Oh! Yes! Yes! Oh my god, that looks so good. Okay. Last thing, baby, last thing. There we go. Oh my, how much is involved? Jesus. He believes in Jesus. And he has an eye patch. Okay, that looks good. Hell yeah, look at him. We can alter his body. Oh. I mean, you have to see his face, so we're gonna make his that bigger. Oh, nah, he got abs. He works out. He works out. Yeah. What did you... Entire stream spent custom... It's really fun. It's really... I'm not muted, right? You can't hear me, doctor? He skips out on arm day, but not on leg day. Look at those legs, bro. Hell yeah. Look at that butt. There's no butt option. It's kind of sexist. You can hear me? Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Body hair. I'm kind of hairy on the arms and legs. He got no hair on his butt. Bro, his butt is like untouched. It's really weird. Body hair color. Ooh. Oh, shit. That's cool. That looks good. And he needs to have muscles. Just a little bit. Hell yeah. He looks so cool. Okay. Safe. Okay. We are ready, baby. This is ping. Doctor, unmute me. Unmute me? Or refresh, maybe. Man's got moss infection. True. The fallen leaves. I'm gonna go back to the top right. I felt weird on the top left. Not gonna lie. Elden Ring, that's the name of the game. Let's actually do this. Where is it? Let's turn off some of the stuff to make it look cleaner. There we go. The words between. There we go. Ooh, is that me? Oh, that's a whammon. I clicked M on accident. Bruh. I've done that before. God doing the golden. Oh, shit. This sounds so sad. Can we get to the game? We can! Skip. Wow, that was an amazing intro. There we go. Look at him. I'm surprised you can't choose your height, but I guess that's for hitbox reasons, I would assume. Let there be love. Okay. Huh? Huh? Where's he putting it? Up his ass? Why is it so dark in this game? Alright. First off, fingers, but whole. What? Maybe I shouldn't have skipped it. Alright, let's see. Oh, you could jump in this game. Oh, that's already cool. Ah! Huh? I'm jumping. Huh? I'm breaking chairs by... I'm not... That is so weird. Okay, how do you attack? How do you attack? What? Stop. I guess they'll teach us. Okay, what's this? We got a finger. I guess, like, it's sad he says, but then he skips. Oopsies. Let there be Elden Ring. Is that... the volume's okay, yeah, guys? Okay. How do you attack? Oh! I figured it out. This game is so dark. And it looks darker on the... it looks darker on stream. What the hell? Wait, we gotta make it brighter. Whoa! It's a tree. Okay. I'm not gonna die that often, guys. This is gonna be a disappointing stream. I'm a pro player. I'm a pro streamer, pro player. What's up, Nathan? It's a little low. The problem is, like, when I start fighting, it's gonna get louder, but... Here. Because, look, if I hit something... I feel like it's loud. Or, I guess it's okay, yeah? Alright. Penis! Read message. Fortnite. Ew. Can you run in this game? Oh, you could crouch? Oh, you could punch! Alright, let's fight someone. Why are there so many messages? I just want to fight. I want to fight! Ow. I really should have watched the intro, I feel like. Boop. Booed. Oh. Oh! What the hell? Bro, I didn't even start the game yet. Ah! 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 Run away. Ah, you can't even run. I died. That's $5 to Ukraine. I wanted to fight, but not like that. What's up, Angel? Reset. What's up, Lando? I don't know if you saw my message. I messaged you. I beat the game, guys. Look at my butt. In the game, I mean. It's so... Oh my god. I have such a hairy back. I'm gonna skip this. You're supposed to die there? Oh. Okay. Whoa. Okay, whatever. How do I... The game should tell me how to play. Oh no, I was saying to Lando. What game is this? This is Elden Ring. We're giving $5 to refugees from Ukraine for every death. And I just died. Even if I was supposed to die there, that counts. Okay. I was asking Lando if he read what I sent him on Twitch. What is this? Guys, is it... Can you see the screen? It looks so dark to me. Can we like make the brightness like louder? What? That didn't make sense. Can we make the brightness more brighter? I don't know how to. Oh, it's a guy. All right, let's take this stuff. Use the finger to write a sign. Multiplayer will begin once you've been summoned by a player from another world. I keep just picking up people's fingers. Check that your mind. I'm gonna have to decline. Sorry to mention. Oh yeah, that's what I sent to you. Yeah, it's true. What, you want me to lie to you? You want me to say, yeah, that's the truth, Angel. Just saw it. I'll reply there. Oh, okay, cool. How do you... Hidden path ahead. Oh. Or is it like Harry Potter? Can I go through the wall? Huh? Huh? No, what did I just do? God damn it. This game is stupid. Oh, here it is. Lift ahead. Oh, wow. Thanks. How do I lift things? Stop drinking! Bro, do the thing. It's not doing... Oh my... Oh, this is the path. Try gesturing? I don't even know what button does that. Ah! What the hell? Look at those legs. Oh. Yo, this game is mad confusing. There's just messages everywhere on the floor. Finger collecting stream, pretty much. Yes, it will make me feel better. Well, it wouldn't be true, so I wouldn't want to lie. Oh, sorry. I hope you do well and enjoy this game. Thank you. Go to the middle. Oh, I have to stand here? Oh, I would have never figured that out. What if I just jump off? Oh, I can't. Yo, this game is 2022 and it's not even made realistically. Did you see that? Huh? What if I go back on it? Ah! What if I jump? I won't die, right? No fall damage, right? I kind of want to jump. I'm not going to jump. I'm in jail! I don't know where to go. I don't care. I'm leaving stream forever. Bye. Joking, but mean. Okay. Do I just say yes to everyone who wants to become mod? Angel? What am I supposed to do? I don't eat monkey ball. I don't do that anymore. I'm confused. I thought this game was Limgrave. Finally, it looks nice. Look at that. Oh, that actually looks kind of nice. It looks so weird on my screen, though. Does it look weird to you guys? Huh? Use your map. Huh? Where's my map? They said press down. I pressed down. This game's a lie. Define weird. The colors look weird. My character looks mad hot, though.
Monkey do bad.
At least you say
Monkey
that
do
you
very
good or
bad.
something. I did. I said you could help as a viewer. And that, like, you don't... What do you mean? It's the ghost that died of ligma. Oh, for being furry. My guy looks mad sexy, though. You're good at breathing? That's not good? Well, Angel, that's... What do you want from me? In every corner of a battlefield, you'll find fruits and flowers, mushrooms and butterflies. Okay. Can we fight? I want to fight. You may find martyrs. You'll find it easy to summon other players. Oh, that's cool. That's actually really cool. I didn't know I didn't know the game was like multiplayer like that. Okay. The game looks fine? Oh, okay, cool. You won't get Slappy Tappy. You did and failed. Yeah, but apparently you're supposed to fail there. Oh, it's a chicken. Ah! What the hell? Wait, can I fight that? I probably don't want to, right? I'm gonna fight it. Oh, it's a goat. Come here, goat. Goat. You can't run in this game. What happens if I... Ah! No, it was a prank! No, I was joking. Bro, I can't run, bro. What is this game? Huh? I'm dead. I'm dead. You're not hitting anything. What just happened? Thanos. Yeah, I just got Thanos snapped. Play with Bosa. Bosa these nuts. Is he playing right now? Why does it sound like he's jerking off? Why does this... You hear that? You hear that? That sounds sus. His footsteps sound sus. Okay, so we're not gonna verse that guy. I don't think that was smart. Can we get like some weapons? Touch Grace? I think a lesson here is don't approach massive things that look like they can breathe on you and you still have you die. Well, I thought... I don't know. Oh, cool. You could heavy attack. You could regular attack and you could... No! Stop drinking! And you could punch. The buttons in this game are dumb. But that's every Dark Souls game. Alright, we're not gonna go to that guy. I don't like him. You thought wrong. True. Okay, I need to get some like I need to get some food, some better armor. You know? And I need to learn how to run, bro. This man walks as slow as... Bro, he sucks. Where's that emote? He walks like mad slow. What the hell? Wee, 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 wee. Guys, I thought of an idea. What if I do a subathon? Well, it's not really a subathon. What if I stream until I get 100 viewers? Everyone would leave on purpose. Wait, can I eat those birds? I could definitely eat these. I could definitely eat these birds. Stop! Oh, that's beautiful. That is really beautiful. Look at that ass. I mean, the scenery. 20 years stream. Pretty much. You'll need a horse. Oh, okay. I don't know what it is on controller, but you can run by pressing spacebar. Oh, that's the map. But that's not running. So you can run. Oh, stop. Shut up. Shut up. There's something nearby. Oh, shit. Bro, chill. Yo, should we fight him? I just pumped myself up. Nah, I'm not gonna fight him. You going to do art? Alright. See ya, Nathan. Look at that nice ass scenery. Sounds like a cool idea, but the draw of subathon is the timer. I'm not sure people would stay for a long time needed to accumulate 100. True. That is true. But can I go down here? Or am I gonna die? I could probably go down here, right? But this guy probably died. This guy's probably dumb and jumped down. Huh? Oh, he tried to jump and he fell and died. What a dumbass. Alright, we're not gonna do that. Okay, let's pick up. Oh, we just got marijuana. Fight. Money goes to Ukraine. Yeah, I mean, that's why I fought the other guy. Alright. Nah, I'm not even gonna get one hit in, though, you know? Okay, it's Herba. I got it. It doesn't go to Ukraine. It goes to refugees. Birds! Birds! God damn it! Stop. You're a freaking barbarian. Ah! Jump. I don't know how to run. Press square while moving to run. No, that's how... Bro, stop. That's not how you run. Oh, this is how you roll. Bro, there's no way to run. This game's dumb. You can't run. Press. This is a patience game. I just looked it up online. Well, I don't know what to tell you, sir. This music, I thought the music would be intense, bro. But I guess it is when you fight people. I want to fight something, though. Oh, how about that? We could fight the little ones, right? If the big one doesn't see us, we could fight the little one. That's a pig. It's a chicken head. There's a skeleton. Oh, it's turning around. Let's kill its the child. We're gonna kill the child. They're mad slow. It's okay. Yes! Ow! You're dead. Ah! How are you not dead? Let's go! Our first kill, baby. We got octopus ovaries. That's hot. Oh, it's turning around. It's slow though. It's okay. You can't catch me, loser. You're look at him! Look at him! What a loser! I killed your children. What are you gonna do? Yeah. You're so fast. Even my you're going a little faster. Even my sucky guy is like running away from you. Oh, what a loser. Ah! What? Stop. How do you run faster? How do you run? This game is... That actually scared me. Oh, yo, what's up? What's up, Shadow? Oh, I killed a bird. Let's go. It's not chasing me anymore, right? Birds don't give you bird meat? You telling me I just killed a bird for no reason? That's sad. That scared me. Punch a dodo. Just get better, easy. Here, I'm moving. Oh my god, no. Okay, that confirms does not run. You don't run like that. You hold down. That's what I'm doing, bro. I'm holding it down. What do you think I'm doing? Thanks for the lurk, bro. It's good to kill bird for food, but when it doesn't have, it's sad. Pretty much, yeah. Because at least I'm like, I'm using it for something. Otherwise, I'm just killing it. You know? It's like if you killed a human, but you ate their remains. At least you're eating their remains, you know? It's not going to waste. Elden Ring, sheesh. What's this? Ah! No, you big boy! You big boy! Ah! It's a joke! It's a joke! I just went Super Saiyan. Ah! Oh, I'm still alive. $15 for the refugees. So it's okay. Look at his butt. Karma hit for child. What? Oh, no, wait, I'm dumb. Karma, I would never kill a child. What is this? Use key? Yeah. What? I was about to say, he's gonna pull it out of his ass? Memorize spell. You must have a staff. Huh? I don't have a staff. How do you get stuff? All right, let's just get out of here. How do you? There we go. Grind. Huh? Am I going the wrong way? What's going on here? This is where we came from. Oh yeah, this is where it sounds like fapping. His footsteps. I didn't read the title. How nice of you. Thanks. Well, it's not only being nice. I feel like it's good content, but I do feel like it's also a nice thing to do. So it's a win-win situation. I can't go up. I'm stuck. That's what she said. What do I do, guys? I can't do anything. Soft locked. This game is so bad that I'm stuck. Oh no, maybe I could travel from the thingy majiggy that I was sitting in. Oh my god, bro. Alright, there we go. Just quick movement, quick movement. Leave. It didn't work, guys. The game hates me. Bro. What am I supposed to do? Do I have to kill myself? Hey, look at these muscles, baby. You need to be, You need to be affiliate. You need to have 3 average viewers and then become an affiliate, and then you could set up stream points, channel points. Ah! Oh, we're fine. Hey, you lost some health. You're fine, bro. Oh, now it tells me how to use an item. Wow. Useful information. Cerulean Tears. What is this, Pokemon? You say you're not like the British guy. Why is it teaching me how to play now? Oh, was this the way I was supposed to go? If I died? You suck! This feels like the way I was supposed to go. Does he not give me anything? Give me your sword, bro. Alright, you're gonna give me your sword. Give me your sword. Give me your sword. Give me... What? You just held a sword in your hand. How did it disappear? Game's BS, bro. Oh, now it tells me. Guarding. Hit me, baby. Ow. Here. I want a guard. Hit me. I'm pressing LB, bro. Why are you standing? Hit me. Huh? You have to walk and then hold... Zombie clowns. Wait. Oh my... Stop drinking! Ow. Ah! Ow! Bro, chill. Stop drinking! Okay, drink. Drink. Okay. So this is how you go back. Oh my god. You go forward. Bye. So easy. Bye. I don't know how to guard though. You guys just keep telling me I have to hold and press square, and every time I do that, he just drinks. Okay? That's not the way. Oh, that's how you jump. Thanks for telling me. Dash? Huh? Oh, that's the dash, yeah? Bro, I've been doing it though, and it's not working. What do you, like, I'm... Flashback to my childhood hearing that. Okay. Wield with 2 hands. Oh my god, this is so complicated. Oh. Stop! Stop. I'm not a fighter, bro. I'm not a fighter! Stop! I'm not trying to drink!
Goodbye.
Okay. Bye, Angel. Like, people... How am I supposed to hit this man? Oh, doing that takes away my dashing. This game sucks. Okay. I could punch. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. I'll avoid it. Bro, what do you... Hit me. Ah! Chill. How do I drink? I'm all bloody. Bro, how do I drink? Oh, yeah. It's the button you guys keep telling me is to run. Bro, I got no more tears left. Hey, chill. Alright. I'll talk to you later. How do I do this? Okay. Oh, okay. Finally a button that works. Bye. Bye. Your sword disappears too for some reason. Okay, this... Hey, don't do that. I got no health. Ah! Hey, you fell? You crazy, bro. You really wanted to kill me, huh? And your weapons... Why do their weapons always disappear? Oh, not this guy. Try weak foe. Nah, that guy killed me. You killed me once already. You don't need to kill me again. Is he chasing me? Stop! I don't know how to run! Stop! He's not gonna come here. So many messages, bro. What's up, bro? Skill. Oh, he's super fast. Did you guys see that? He hit like a goddamn god. Look at that. Oh, we might as well go through with our god abilities. Crouch. Hey! Let's go. How many times have I died, guys? Oh, R1. Oh! He saw me. Bye! I'm not doing the tutorial stuff. Welcome back, Dino. This game is loud when I hit, no? I might put some background music. What do you guys think? Background music or not? Plump? Sounds good. Okay. Some attacks may break. Hold R2, charge attack. R2 while jumping, jump attack. Oh. Stops. Crouching. Eh! Shit! Ah! Stop it. Die. Let's go. I'm pro player. Pro player. Oh, it's Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh. We finally get into the game. Oh, shit. Nah, I gotta heal, bro. I no, I can't. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I don't know how to block. I don't know how to block. I don't know how to block, bro. They didn't tell me how to block. They told me, but it didn't work. I mean, it's okay. It's going to a good cause. Steak of Maraca. Was that where we just were? I don't know. How do you block in Elden Ring? How to block in Elder Scrolls? Elder Rings. Elder Ring. Elden Ring. You can't block without a shield? So why are they telling me to block? Bro, I hate... this is such a dumb game. Why would they tell me how to block if I don't have a shield? They should know that I don't have a shield. I'm starting to think I didn't pick the best character. Oh, let me get my... Come here, baby. Come here. Yeah, you're not hitting me, baby. Yeah. You're not hitting. Yeah, try to hit me. Try to... Oh! You missed. Yeah. Chill, bro. Chill, bro. It's just a prank. It's a prank. It's a prank. We're gonna punch you. No, wrong button. What's the punch button? Oh, this button. The buttons are so dumb. Yeah, you ain't hitting me, bro. Let's go. Hell yeah. Easiest battle of my freaking life. That was bad. I would assume you could dodge or block without a shield. Seems like a bad game design not to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh my god, why is the water so loud? Can we like... I'm such a complainer. Let's go. You'd be blocking with your arm? No, but like you should be able to counterattack with the weapon or something, no? I don't know. Try something. Strength. What? I just got more strength for some reason. Okay. Oh, that was the tutorial to the area we were in before. This is the open world that we went to before. Weapon pairing seems... Let's rest. Pairing seems standard. That's what I'm saying. Is it too late to return the game? I'm triggering all the people that love this game. Wait. I'm literally soft blocked. There's no way, bro. This game screwed up. Unless I could walk through here. You can't block without a shield. And Breath of the Wild is also a bad game. What do you want? I'm just joking. Yeah, that's a bad part about Breath of the Wild then. Nah, honestly, that's not a big deal. Oh, here. A lever. Never mind. The game is a fine game. I'm just dumb. Okay, I was trying to pull the lever. Kick. Huh? Pull lever. There we go. What? Oh, okay. This game takes... Where am I supposed to get a shield from? Everyone I kill, their weapons disappear. In Breath of the Wild, they don't disappear. Okay. Bruh. How am I supposed to... Oh. I was like so confused. Thank you, Cortez. And what's up? Good luck. I'm trying to make some more cool ideas for stream. I forgot my guy looks so cool. Okay, sorry, I was getting too distracted by how sexy he looks. Look it up. Nah, I'll just kill everyone. I like how it's open world though. That's very cool to me. Oh hey. Where's my weapon? Wait, can I kill you? Oh, oh! No, I was joking. It was just a joke. Hey, bro, it was a joke. It was a joke. It was a prank. Stop. That was a prank. It was... That is 5 deaths, I think, now? $25 to, you know, people who are not doing too well because of the conflict in Ukraine. That's fine. I don't mind at all. Oh, getting destroyed. Pretty much. Why is it always invisible people here? Kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. It's like other players. I don't know how they do that. That's like really cool. This game takes half an hour for one thing to happen, I swear. Oh, he's so hot. Look at those butt cheeks. They're so defined. Oh, look. Oh, that was good. All right. Let's continue. I need to learn how to goddamn run, bro. All right, let's talk to that person this time. I come in peace. I was just trolling. What? No, I was trolling.
Monkey do good. Monkey do very good.
You remember? He remembered. How'd you remember? Stop it. He remembered. You know what? Ah! I died. I don't like this game. Oh, I love it. He won't talk to you. You made a powerful enemy. You are not wrong. That's $30 to refugees. You know, can't complain. So. Can we like not fight him? This is the only way to go, so I have to like crouch past him or something, right? Like how else can I get past him? Me. You're the powerful enemy? Dun dun dun! You saying can't complain makes me think you want to complain. Well, why did he remember? That's so scary. Oh, I forgot I could do that. How do you crouch? Stop! Bro, why would you put square as a button to, like, heal? That's the stupidest game idea. Oh, my God. Okay, how do I crouch? Ooh, that's a cool kick. I remember how to crouch. First off, good luck. Oh, here we go. Bro, we're chill now, okay? I should have talked to him. He's looking for me. He's waiting for me. He wants to kill me. Alright. Oh, let's go get some goats. What's this? Ugh, I don't care about these messages. He gives you good advice? Well, he doesn't give me good advice. Because I tried to attack him. Let's go get the goat. We could attack it from behind, right? Not anymore. No, you stupid goat. What is that? Hey, we got a fragment. Okay, we need to get clothes because when it gets dark, it's gonna get cold. I don't want my guy to get cold. Oh, there's a fire there. Hopefully, there's no enemies that will kill us. What's this? Oh, it's a skeleton. Oh, let's crouch. Let's crouch. Did it? 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 Ah. Scared me, bro. You scared me. Okay. Ooh, it's a smithing table. Let's use it. Strengthen armament in it. we can't do it. I need a weapon, bro. Like, how is that no? Oh, it's a person. Okay, I'm not gonna attack this person.
I can see it, but I can also see
my big ass, right?
you're not after my throat.
Yeah.
Purchase a little something. I'm
Okay.
Carly, purveyor of fine goods.
Look into my face, Carly. Look into my face. Oh, look at how sexy he looks. Oh, we could buy stuff. Well, we can't buy anything. Okay. Sell? Yo, I found some rune stuff. Now, can I buy something? No. Recommendation.
Buy yourself a crafting kit is essential. The kit costs a bundle.
Okay. This is Skyrim 3, actually. Santa! Touch grave. How you doing, Churo? Ooh. I found a place to teleport. Let's rest. Oh. Memorize a spell. Oh, I can't memorize a spell. I can't do anything yet. Okay, I need to pick up stuff to sell and to buy. We're gonna pick up this flower. Welcome back. No, this is Elden Rings, the new game that came out. It's actually kind of cool. Every death we give $5 to Ukraine refugees. We've died 6 times now or 7? We've died 6 or 7 times now, so. How many times did we die? 6 times? I think we died 6 times. Yeah, look at that movement. All right. You're actually kind of cool. Well, I'm trying to change every month or every so often. I try to figure out what I want, like how I want to make my streams structured and stuff. And this month we're gonna be experimenting with like ideas that are like pushed for YouTube. And this was an idea I had that I thought was like a really good idea. It's also just like it's a nice thing to do, also, you know. And I feel like it's good content, so it works out. It's a win-win situation. Yo, let's go. 1 hour. Let's go. Oh, kill the bird. Kill the bird. No. No, what? I don't know what that was. What do I do now? What do I do? Oh, don't die. You're not gonna die. Oh my god, he didn't take any damage. That was kind of crazy. Can I get top 10 watch hours? I think you got last week. For those wondering, you could see what the monthly top 10 was by looking at the Reddit. Or it's like top 13 or something, but yeah. Pretty much if you watch the channel, you're probably going to be it. The hardest thing's to get top, the number 1. Top 10 is not too difficult. Well, I mean, I guess you have to be in like every stream a bit, I think, to get top 10, but. The bots have already came back. If I stop texting chat, it's because I took some melatonin gummies. That is information I did not necessarily need to hear. Oh, look! No, I'm just joking. No worries, I guess. Be okay. Is that okay? There's a guy. Okay, I need to get stuff, bro. I want to... Oh, there's a squirrel. Squirrel. There's a squirrel. Bro, why does no one love me? Oh, finally, something we could actually fight. That looks like a guy we could fight. We're gonna fight him. Oh, that's a lot of guys. We could hit him on the back, though. There's a bat. I don't remember the button. Let's go. I'm a martial artist, baby. Ow. Ah. It's a prank. It's a prank. Ow, it's a prank. I didn't mean to drink. Let's go. Ow. Stop. Guys, I think I'm going to kill him. How do I hit more with the light hits? Oh, no, I don't. Let's go. Yeah, we got a fruit. We got a fruit from your body? That's it? Oh, he's crying. Are you okay? I don't want to kill this guy. I want to kill you. Oh, he's running away. All right, I'll kill you. Yes. The donate website is, I looked into it. It's basically an international organization that helps refugees around the world, and that specifically links to helping Ukraine. It was founded by Einstein, I think, like 90 years ago. So it's pretty credible. I did a little bit of research on it, and yeah. You don't have it? Oh. My screen for you is black? Refresh. Maybe you paused it by accident. I feel so bad. This guy just trying to pray and I'm killing him. But hey, I need to pillage your corpses, so. Stop putting me on fire. Stop putting me on. Oh, I'm about to die. Yeah, we're good. Do you have a gold ping? Yeah, I do want to donate a certain amount, but I'll help donate. Aw, I don't have a set goal. But I mean, I think if you would like to donate, you could. I think it's a nice thing to donate to, but obviously I wouldn't push anyone to. Normal now? Okay, nice. Christian circa 1450. Sheesh. Okay, where do I go now? This game's open world, but it's like a lot. Make the goal 500 bucks. 500 bucks is a lot. Jesus. But I'll get to it soon. How much I die? All right, we're gonna die. Oh, I had it this whole time. Oh my god. Let's go. I think that's 7. I think that's 7 deaths now. So 35 bucks, baby. I'll donate 50 bucks. Oh, that's so nice of you, Dino. Are sure? Well, I mean, it's your money. You do what you want with your money. Yeah. I think I could fight this guy. I'd like to donate at least 50 as well. But I'd also not like to die too often. Ooh, this guy sucks. Let's go. I can't pillage anything? Oh my god.
Jelly bean time.
Thanks for the jelly bean. God damn it, bro. I had so many jelly beans later. I don't think $10 is the minimum. Unless you tried less. You could do one-time donation and then press other and then give as much as you want. That's what I thought, but oh, you're right, it is $10. Yeah. It's probably because of the fees associated with like clothing the kids and stuff. I mean the like giving resources to the refugees. Oh, this is a good jelly bean, thank you. Oh yeah. This is the best jelly bean. How you doing, Timmy? I think you'll be donating 100. Maybe. Cock and balls. Thoughts and prayers are nice as well. Imagine if it will just be scam. No, I'm gonna do it on stream. Die! Yeah! Hell yeah, baby! That's my corpse, not yours. We got bolts. And we got cockery. Cockery. Don't know what the hell that is, but that should be cool. It tastes like gum. That was good. Prank. It was a prank. It was a prank. These guys suck, bro. Let's go. Hey, give me your bolts. I'm finally getting stuff. Which makes me feel like I'm going the right way. You donated so some kids that buy beer. Oh, yeah, that's why I did some research into that organization. Obviously, I would suggest you do your own research if you would want to donate, but I think it's good, so. They stress that it goes directly to the people. You know, a lot of nonprofits, a lot of the money goes into actually just setting up stuff. But this one specifies that, okay, it actually like goes to the people. It's been around for like 90 years. I read some stuff on Reddit showing that, like from people who worked there and stuff. And they said that it's, you know, that it actually gives them, like, it actually helps people out and stuff, so. If individuals are saying it's a good thing, I think, you know, that helps. Oh, it's a wolves. I'm not a loser. I could kill these wolves. Yeah, come here, bro. Come here, bro. Hey! You're a wolf! How are you stronger than a guy with a goddamn sword? Okay. It was a prank. 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 Yeah, come here, bro. Come here. Oh, come here. I'll kill you all. Oh my god, how many are there? Oh, yeah! Get out of here. I got out of there. I love lean. Lie. I object. I'll be doing some research too. Yeah. That's what, 8 deaths now? Jesus. I kind of want to attack this guy. I'm not going to lie. Santa Claus.
Weren't you? Well, you're back. Care to buy
I mean, he has a fishing rod. He can't really do much to me, right? Did I attack him, guys?
for now?
I'm going to attack him.
What's the matter with you? You for a highwayman all alone.
No, I was joking. Hey!
Time you learned
No, 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 no. No, no, I just attacked you 3 times, bro. He has a horse? Bro, come on. I thought I would be able to run away from this one. What if I crouch? He doesn't know where I went. What a dumbass. He actually doesn't know where I went. Bro. Why did I hit him? I don't know. I just wanted to hit him. He doesn't know where I am. Ah! He found me. Ah! How does he find me so quickly? Hit me. Okay, I gotta drink. I gotta drink. I gotta drink. I hit him because it's more exciting than like killing the easy guys. Also. What the hell? That's not a horse. What the hell is that? How is a horse slower than me walking, bro? That's dumb. Alright, I gotta remember how to dodge and stuff. Ugh. Ah! 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 Big boy, big boy. No, 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 no. Not big boy, not big boy, not big boy. Run, 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 run away, horsey. Horsey, run. Stop hitting me. There's the big boy. The big boy. Why are you hitting me? You idiot. There's a big boy right there. Oh my god, you dumbass. Okay, big boy is gone. Big boy is gone. Forgot what lean is. Isn't it a drug or something? Oh. Oh, we're good. Oh, that was easy. He is just playing with me. I'm already so tired, I'm gonna pass out. Imagine you hit the only person that gives you a horse. Does he give you a horse? I didn't see a horse in his inventory. If I kill him, I should be able to have his horse. But this game is dumb. I want to kill him, though. I'm gonna try to kill him. Let's first get some meat. Let's go. I think I could kill him. Jolly Rancher and cough syrup? Oh. Let's go! Yeah, where are you going, bro, huh? You scared? You scared? Yeah, you scared, you freaking fascist. Oh, yeah. I could kill him. Come here. Where's that fishing rod you have in your hand? Stop being a loser. Ugh, he fights like a loser. All right, I'm gonna die. I'm done. I'm done. Stop chasing me. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I could have killed him. I just don't have enough healing power. Okay. 9 deaths. Whew. You need Sprite, fool. Lean, also known as Purple. Wait, is he gonna attack me right away? Is he chill with me now? He's not. Don't get on your horse this time. You freaking loser. You loser. You're a loser. I'm gonna kill you. You're a loser. You're a loser. Loser. Stop. I'm healing. Damn it. Did it just run over me? Oh, I could go Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan! Super Saiyan! Super Saiyan! Drink, drink, drink. Come here. I'm Super Saiyan. Stop running away. There you go. He's such a loser. I'm not Super Saiyan anymore. Super Saiyan! Super Saiyan! Super Saiyan! Super Saiyan! Super Saiyan! Damn it! Originally in Texas, it's typically... Oh, did you look up the definition? I thought it was drugs or something. Just Sprite, just any soda. Oh. I don't care what you're... You guys are like arguing. Where'd he go? Ah, such a loser, bro. You're such a loser. You're a loser. Say it. I'm gonna stop attacking those guys. I'm gonna stop doing that. $50. $50 right there. Hey. Don't worry, I'm not attacking you. Don't get on your stupid ass horse. Stop drinking. Stop. This game needs better buttons for things. Okay. No, banned. Can be made with alcohol. Ah. Okay. I think this is the way to go across this bridge. I just can't. I'm so happy I made my guy look like this. He's so cool. Whoa, this reminds me of Breath of the Wild. Like the light is shining towards the castle or something, you know? Let's go. Okay. Oh, this is the way we came last time. Okay, this time we could kill all those guys. And we're acquiring materials, so this is good. I was saying with the Bloodborne, I kept pressing to try to pick things up. Yeah, well, no game does it. It's only the games that this company makes, like Dark Souls and all this. It doesn't make sense. Oh my god. Ow! Ow! Okay, how are you doing so much damage? Okay. You're dead. They're making another one and things coming out this year. Really? Oh. Don't worry, I won't attack you guys. If you don't attack me, I won't attack you. Don't worry, bro. Don't worry. I attacked you last time and then I died from these guys. Ow. That was easy. Game is cool. Maybe go around the fire. Nah, it's okay. I'll do that next time. Oh, where were we? We were in a cave or something. Oh, we weren't here. What the hell is this? Kill the rats. Let's go. All right. See ya, Angel. Have a great one. Goodbye.
Monkey
Is this
do
where we
bad.
came from?
Monkey
I
do
can't
very
tell.
bad.
Stop drinking. God damn it. Let's go. What's this? Dot dot dot. A proper death means blah blah blah. I don't care. Oh! What the hell? That scared the shit out of me. I don't drink lean. What was that? 11 now? That was 11 deaths. That scared the shit out of me, bro. I'm just gonna assume any save place is next to... Save point is next to, like, enemies. Let me talk to you. Oh, you already said nothing. Whee! Loser, 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 loser. You don't fight like a man. Ow, he's using a crossbow. I'm drinking, I'm drinking. Ow. Ah. Oh, I was still alive? I thought I died. I think that's 12 deaths now. We're gonna stop in 6 minutes, by the way. I was thinking to do this between an hour and 2 hours, so an hour and a half sounds good, you know? I don't know if I'm gonna play this game again. Alright, let's see what's there here. Boo! Nothing here. Can I open this door? Ooh, I can. This game is so cool. Oh, it's those birds again. We'll come back here later. Locked. Let's fight them. Oh, he's waiting. They're staring at me, bro. Stop. Come here, baby. Come here. Super Saiyan! I know your tricks already. I know your tricks. Get out of here. Let's go. Oh, oh, it's the same two guys from before. Yeah. Get out of here. Stop hitting. Oh, he can't attack. He only has a bow and arrow, huh? Did I miss him? Ah! We're gonna stop there. I'm not that rich. We're gonna stop there. That was fun though. That was fun. 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 Back to normal. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. The game is crazy. This game cray cray. Okay. I'm gonna have to minimize you guys for a second, actually. What is that? Donate. How many times did we die, guys? 12 or 13? I think we died 13 times, right? Okay, we died 13 times, which means we have to give, or I have to give, $65 to the IRC, the International Rescue Committee. For those that don't know, they basically donate to people all around the world that are refugees. As you can see here, your emergency gift will help us provide food, medical care, and emergency supplies to refugee families in countries like Ukraine, Afghanistan, Syria, and Yemen. This one is specifically for Ukraine, but obviously, you know, you could donate if you would want to anything you would want to donate to. Obviously, because of the whole Russia-Ukraine thing going on now, I thought it would be nice to donate to Ukraine. There's a lot of refugees going over to Poland and other European countries because of the invasion by Russia. Yeah, and the details are going to be in the description of the video, so you can check that out if you want to. But yeah, we died 13 times, which is $65. So we're going to give $65 right here. Yeah. I'm going to pay with PayPal, and I'll help the processing also. So it's going to be $66.95. But I think that's okay. It's going to a good cause, and yeah. Wait. Give me a second, guys, because I can't see chat when I'm doing it like this. Yeah. Let me actually leave the game. That's enough Elden Ring for today. And for life, maybe. Who knows? It's actually pretty fun, but also kind of hard. That's what she said. But yeah. Let me see. I'll be right back. I don't have a third monitor, so basically I can't see chat if I'm looking at this at the same time. Yeah, let me just put some music on, I guess. That game is interesting. There we go. 13. Let's go. Yeah. I wish I could give money, but I don't have any. Don't worry about it. You're young. You don't need to worry about that. I'm gonna connect this. Okay. That should allow me to change stuff. Yes, it does. Okay, cool. With my feet now. Okay, make a one-time donation. Don't want to show you guys my PayPal information. I'll try to show you guys the receipt, though, to prove it. Oh, there we go. Now processing. Hey, I don't... does it show any information? It says order number. It doesn't actually show anything. Shows my email though. Let's not show my email. I mean, it's not a big deal, but okay. That's $66.95. Many companies match employee contributions to charitable organizations. See if your employer Twitch. Now you do the same thing, Twitch. On behalf of the IRC staff and courageous and inspiring people we are privileged to serve, I extend my deepest gratitude. We will, through your support, we will continue to be a beacon of hope for millions of refugees on their journey from harm to home. That's nice. So there it is. I encourage anyone out there who has disposable income to spend to consider at least donating to refugees, because this is not a political thing. Obviously, it's helping refugees, refugees of war specifically, right? People who just didn't do anything wrong and are just got screwed because of geopolitical wars and stuff like that. So, yeah, I would consider, if you would want to donate. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great one. Have a great one is for the YouTube video, but we're gonna continue streaming. Yeah. Doxed. Show me your SSN. My social security number. We got IQ pluses, Pog. So, are you planning on streaming earlier? I didn't. I was doing so much stuff yesterday and well, mostly today. So I'm not sure yet if I'm going to be streaming earlier yet. I'm gonna make an announcement on Discord most likely. But yeah, I think streams might be a little shorter for some time while I try to come up with ideas like this idea, which I think is fun and like a good idea, you know. 2K IQ. It's been a while since we got to 2K. Let's go. Okay. And I thought we could do some Hollow Knight maybe today. And some I guess I'll move this to the other side so you guys don't have to see that info. Yeah, I'll get you 3K. Nah, I don't need to do that. Oh yeah, Hollow Knight. Now we're talking. Yeah, I thought we'll do some like cool ideas like that for stream, and then go into like just chilling, you know. And then after the chilling, we'll go to like it'll be like smaller streams, but I'm gonna keep the donate link up for the rest of the. I'm just gonna keep that up for the next week or whatever. I think it's, you know, in case anyone would want to donate. But what did I want to write? Oh yeah. Noob plays Hollow Knight. Let's go 2300. Did someone say Hollow Knight? Yeah. Should have done Hollow Knight Death Challenge. We might end up doing a Hollow Knight challenge in the future too. Lamo, he would go into debt. Well, the thing with Hollow Knight also is that The nice thing about I know this sounds messed up, but from a content point of view, the nice thing is like Elden Ring is like going on right now. It's like the new hot thing, so that's why I thought of Elden Ring. But I mean, I could do Hollow Knight videos also. Plus charity streams. This wasn't necessarily a charity stream, but I think charity streams could be a cool idea for the future. Fairy gave me some ideas related to that, but yeah. And I wanted to know, I wanted to see how the game was. That was a good video. Thanks. Even though it didn't come out yet. Okay, let's get Hollow Knight open over there. Let's go. La, 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 la. Do, 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 do. Writing a note. I forgot this music is like this. It's so intense. Oh, I'm also gonna undo the reward so you guys could spend all the channel points, baby. I forgot I have to put the you guys don't hear the audio of the game right now. I have to capture it. Hollow Knight, let's go. There we go. Na, 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 na. If it's too loud or not loud enough, let me know, guys. I mean, I don't think you would like playing Elden all the way through, so you could have saved some money for donations. You're right. I'm hoping I can refund refund it. What's up, Honor? We played an hour and a half ish of Elden Ring, but playing Hollow Knight now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But how you doing, bro? Elden Ring PS5 refund? You could. Let's go. Wait, on Xbox you could. You have 14 days to request a refund. Yeah, I also wanted to see if I liked the game. Honestly, it reminds me a lot about like of Dark Souls, and I didn't really like Dark Souls, so yeah, I just donated. What was it? 60 something dollars. I probably should have kept playing and donated more, to be honest, but something like $66 to Ukraine. They need Ping's money. Okay, I forgot the controls to this game. Oh, I used a controller for this, right? I think I ended up using this. All right, 3K. See ya. Oh, I gotta go. All right, see ya, Ping Pong. Thanks for popping in. And if you want to grow on Twitch with Ping Pong, I suggest having a consistent schedule. So maybe once a week you stream it or something. Oh, it's lagging so hard for you guys, huh? I think I know why. Because I have a lot of shit open. It shouldn't lag now. Okay, it should be good now. Hopefully. It's the game. Still lagging. Still lagging, really? Oh. I mean, it's not laggy on my side. So... Okay, how about now? We good? Okay, cool. Yeah, I had a bunch of stuff open, so I just got rid of it, and... I remember! Oh, this game is so fun! Wait, how do you do the speed thing again? How do you like air boost? Lagging now? Bro, really? Whenever you move a lot? See, the thing is, it's not lagging on the game. So, it's... My computer can't handle pushing this out to stream, I guess. Is the audio lagging also when I talk, or... Can you turn down graphics or something? Maybe. Let's see. I don't know how to go to settings. Enter, escape. It's probably escape. Yeah, there we go. Video. We go to 1280. Keep new resolution. I think this is lower, right? Blur quality. Reduce to improve performance. Okay, let's put it on low. Okay, that should be good. Audio is good. V-Sync on. Okay, cool. Yeah, how do you do the speed boost thing? I forgot. Like when midair, you could like. Still bad? Oh, I got it. Really? Oh, I see it on stream now too. Yeah. You'll need to free up some space. Audio is good. V-Sync is on. The thing is, it says excellent. On OBS, it's not dropping any frames, and the actual game is doing fine. So it's literally like on Twitch's side. It feels like. Okay. It's only when you're moving that it lags. Yeah, but I move in a lot of the game. Does window capture do better than game capture? I'm not even game captured. I'm capturing it with my I'm capturing it with the display capture. It's better now? Oh, okay, good. And it still looks fine, right? Sorry about that, guys. My CPU or GPU is max, but the thing is, it's not. The thing is, my GPU. If my GPU is maxing out, on OBS, it would show dropping frames and stuff. The actual game might be, well, the game wouldn't be right necessarily, but on OBS it would show. Man, OBS the connection, it's not dropping any frames. It looks fine, and on the stream it says excellent. Seems good now, but might stop. I don't know. Yeah, just let me know, I guess, guys, if it looks bad again. Ah! Okay. I have to remember what I was trying to do in this game. That is way too bright. Might be reloading cache. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know enough. You see, it's desktop capture because you can see my desktop right here. Okay. We're Gucci now, though. Ooh. I found that desktop capture is like... I think that's what a lot of the bigger streamers do. And what I've learned is that a lot of the bigger streamers are lazy. So they do it because it's easier. And, wrong button. And I used to do game capture and stuff, but honestly, this display capture is much easier. Hey, Nico, what's up? Now I just need to explore. Oh yeah, there's a map. I'm doing good, Nico. How you doing? I forgot about stream elements. Oh, I have this. I just remembered. Oh shit. I have to heal. How do I heal again? Shit. How do I heal? How do I heal? Oh, there we go. Let's go. I feel like I remember you. Surreal Steel. And the audio of the game is okay, like versus my voice and stuff, guys. Sorry for all the questions. Did we ever go here? Oh, we never went to this side on the right. Oh, because we didn't have the boost thing, probably. Let's go. Which magic class is better? Dark Souls 2? I have no idea. Maybe someone in chat knows. Everything seems good now. Nice. It's definitely because I just lowered the graphics then. It still looks fine though, right? I mean, it looks slightly worse to me, but it's not that noticeable, I feel. It's like when 720 was a thing. I feel like... I don't know. It was fine. I can't see a difference? Yeah, that's good. Ooh, I do remember coming here. Not having a map for it. I don't remember what the issue was here, but... Huh. Oh my god, it's so much easier to travel with the boost thing. Oh. Like over there, I think I could boost. That's what I had the issue with. I don't think I was able to boost. Oh, that's so cool. Whoa. Whoa. God damn it. This is actually crazy. I wasn't ready for that. I was not ready for that. Get bouldered. Any predictions, guys? Let's go. I love the movement in this game. It feels so good. Oh, shit. That was an accident. I predict you'll die again to those guys. Ooh. You want to put points on it? I'm going to try to get back to them. If I could. I don't really remember where they were. That. Oh, yeah. They were up. They were up. I probably will die to them. I need to find a place to save nearby. So if I die, I don't... I think there should be one around here. Let's go. Accidents happen. Oh, the dark thing to fill my egg. I don't know what happens if my egg doesn't get filled. That's what she said, I guess. You know what? I don't need to do anything because I'm already a pro. Check your map. There's one by where you killed Hornet. Yeah, I know that one, but I'm not gonna die, so it's okay. That one is on the left. That's kind of closer, but I don't need it. I'm a pro player. See what I mean? Let's go. Why'd I do that? I didn't need to do that. I'm gonna have a full aura. Ah, I can't do that. Ah! I'm such an idiot. Let's go. Oh my god, that makes movement so much better. Oh shit. That shit is so scary. Imagine it killed me. It used my my karma thingy up. That was weird. Let's do it. I have all possible things before my name. You do actually. That's crazy. Even the prediction. Oh, I didn't realize you put up a prediction. Just an explanation of the mechanic. When you die, you lose your shade. While it's lost, you can't fill your soul all the way and you lose your geo. If you kill it, you get both back. If you die again, you lose all the geo you had. And you have to kill the new shade. Your shade gets stronger as you do. Oh, that's cool. Shit. Let's go. Oh shit. Shit, I need to heal up a bit. Shit. Oh my god, bro. I almost died. Bro! Oh my god. Let's go. Why do I keep getting hit by it? Bro! I suck. Come here, bro. Come here. Oh. Why doesn't he just send more of his children after me? Let's go. Oh shit, this connects back. Oh, that's useful for when we come back. I keep forgetting about that. About using this. Whoa. Huh? There's a boulder shell. You like this charm? Hey. If it makes me double jump and stuff, I will. Ugh. That was almost bad. Wait, is that all that was in there? Oh no, I didn't explore everything else there. I don't have that. I need to find that guy that gives me everything. Okay. Let's go. Oh, this is where we fought that guy before, I think. Let's go. I do owe you. Oh no, this is where we fought him. I do owe you $5. Wow, that was so cool. Predict with channel points. What'd you guys predict now? Oh. Ow. I want to fight these. Chi, what's up? That's so much easier. I'm so concentrated on this. What's up, Chi? Jake, remind me tomorrow. Oh, shit. How did I not see this? Chill. Oh, shit. Hit me, bro. Oh, shit. I didn't know who was gonna hit again. How did I miss this area? Oh, shit. I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. I am enjoying Hollow Knight, yeah. Ah! I'm not enjoying playing like a Dumbo though. Today we did a we donated to some refugees from Ukraine. So if you do ! Donate, anyone in chat, you could donate as well. If you want. Yeah, we were here. Oh, it should tell me exactly where it was. Oh, I have to go all the way around. Oh, that's so annoying. I don't want to fight you. Hey, Jimmy, what's up? I think I'm enjoying this game too much. Like, I'm barely talking. I'm so concentrated on the game. How you doing, bro? Ah! I just lost to, like, the suckiest thing ever. How's this game? It's a lot more fun than I expected it to be honest. The movement feels very fluid. And it's pretty open world. You could explore it how you want. Kinda. And yeah, I like it. Hello, everyone. Oh, this is where I died. Where's the dark thing? Oh, it's gonna be exactly where I died, right? Shit. Where is it? Where's the dark thing? It sounds... Oh, shit. Oh shit, that was an accident. Ayo, let's go. It looks cool, has a great visual style. Yeah. If you like 2D open world Metroidvania games, I got one for you. Top hours got reset as the month finished. But if you guys want, you could join the Reddit to see the top hours every month. There's a Hall of Fame on the Reddit. The Reddit is pretty dead, but one day it will be revived. Where is the thingy? Am I going crazy? Shouldn't the thing that... Oh, because I died here. Oh, I could speed up to it now to kill it. Oh, interesting. How many attacks does it take? There we go. Down to the right? Oh. Fighting by the pillars, huh? Yep. I love hitting the penis statues. It's fun. Oh, it's right there. Oh, shit. It has a sword now. Imagine I died again. Sheesh. I was curious who was at the top as of the new month. Doctor. Doctor, there's also a Hall of Fame on the Discord that you could check out by checking it out. I don't know. How did I never find that guy? All right, let's go heal up. Oh, let's sleep at a bench and see what we just unlocked. Ugh. There we go. Can we like... Oh yeah, there it is. Let's go. Ugh. What does this do? Protects his bear with a hard shell while focusing soul. Shell is not indestructible and it will shatter if it absorbs too much damage. What are these costs? Oh, I only have 3 notches. Protects its bearer with a hard shell while focusing soul. The shell is not indestructible and will shatter. Increase the amount of soul. I'd rather increase the amount of soul, actually. Interesting. Okay, I definitely need to do something here. Oh, now that I have the new power, I could explore the bottom right more. And that's probably where and the bottom left. Oh, I don't remember if I could explore the bottom left, but that's where the stupid guy is, probably. Oh. Damn. Ah! Jesus, that scared me. We could go down to the left, down to the right. Let's go down to the right, because we're cool kids. But how you doing, Jimmy? Jimmy Neutron. Oh, sorry. I know a lot. Oh, now I could go this way. Interesting. Oh wait, I've been this way. Never mind. There must be something new I could explore. I have a dash ability I got last time I played the game. Oh, there we go. Let's go. We're exploring, baby. What's the time in New York? What is the time? 10:02 p.m. We've been streaming for about 2 hours. Wow. I feel like there must be a boss sometime soon. We've been in all of this area too. We're able to go down somewhere here. Nice, Pink. Nice. Let's go. What time is it by you, bro? Ah. Whoa, I didn't even see that. Weird. Oh, it's a bench. Let's go. 9:20 a.m. in Bangladesh. Oh, yo, that is sick. This map is so big. That's what she said. Did she? Did she actually? No. What is this? Oh. What the hell? Oh, these are new enemies. What, do I have to throw it back at them? Yeah, I do. I'm such a genius. I knew exactly what to do, even though I screwed up. Oh, I'm such a genius. This map is huge, right? Hey! Nice emotes. That's my stepsis, by the way. Ah, he killed himself. They're trying to push me into the area. I mean, that's my stepmom. I like breaking statues. Ooh. What's this? Yeah, my IQ is pretty high. How you doing, Epicuro? I feel like I haven't said that. Love the emotes. Thanks. I miss her. I actually have a bunch of more emote ideas, but... Oh, shit. Oh. Oh. I thought I was gonna die there. Well, I did die. What was the prediction on? Ping is too smart. No, it's because we just did a stream where we donated to refugees from Ukraine for every death I had in Elden Ring, and I died like 12 times, and I donated like 65 bucks or something. So if you guys want to donate or like look into that, here's the link. I swear you won't get a virus, and yeah. Ping is too smart. I miss my other gun emote. That's a bad prediction. You won't even get there. You also have step. Yeah, I have a step mom and step sister. I remember when it was around minus 1900, right? That's awesome. Yeah, I thought it would be really good content and just really awesome too. So it's like a win-win. What the hell is this area? You should do how many attempts to get to the area or whatever. Oh! 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 Oh. I don't know where I'm going. Oh. Shit. Oh. That's my favorite emote. You have a stepmother? Wait, you actually do? Oh, that's cool. That's a dark room. You can explore it if you want, but you're meant to come back later. Okay, fine. We'll come back later. I'm dying too often. There we go. Is Elden Ring difficult compared to the other Souls games? People say it's easier. My brother has had more problems with it than Dark Souls 3. I personally played Dark Souls 3 for 10 hours. I don't like the... they're very dark to me. Well, it's called Dark Souls, but I don't really like those games too much. Elden Ring felt... How did it feel? It felt like an okay game. In terms of difficulty, people say it's easier, generally. It's open world, so you could kind of go where you want to. Oh, this is good to practice. Oh, cool. So yeah, that's what I would say, I guess. Oh, there's so many ways to go here. It was hard for me because I'm dumb, but... Whoa! I thought I could use him for some reason. I forgot you can't use him. Oh, that was sick. You can't even lie. That was sexy. Whoa, this looks sick. What the hell? Fog cannon. We'll come back here later. Remember the pogo. Hell yeah. I just wanted to explore more. I thought there was a bench here, but... I don't even know. Do I need it? Oh, no, I don't. Okay. I didn't... Okay. That was dumb. What is the limit of the IQ value? There are no limits. But what was the lowest we ever got? Does anyone know or remember? We got pretty low. Oh, shit. I didn't even realize that's what that was. Whoa. No, I'm about to die. I'm about to die. I'm about to die. I'm about to die. Nope, 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 nope. I need to get energy. We got to 13,000. Negative or... Alright, we'll come back here too. There was a bench somewhere. Where was the bench? Oh shit. Ooh, that was close, boys. We'll have to find out then. There is no limit. Cool, Stone Sanctuary. Okay, so that was a boss we were fighting. Let's go back to him. First try, massive mouse charger. Oh, that's the boss's name? Alright, let's go beat him. First try, baby. I would put my points on it. Would I? Maybe. Okay. Where was he? Did I skip him? I skipped. He was somewhere here, right? Oh, there he is. Oh, shit. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, he's so big. That's what she said. I honestly don't know how to kill him. Oh, I think I know how. I need to take the high ground, Anakin. Limitless IQ. There we go. Okay, I know how to kill him. Easy. We'll have to find out then. I would too. You made a let's say you made the prediction too long, but no one predicted, so it's fine. Oh my god! Do that again. Okay. Let's heal. Bro, he's so good at doing that. Finally. Oh my god. Oh. Jesus, imagine those killed me. That's a lot of money, baby. No one believes in you, Ping. Prove him wrong. I did. I proved him wrong. Are you proud of me, Daddy? Too easy. Exactly, baby. Limitless IQ, baby. Let's go. Ah. I'm not gonna get hit by those losers. Oh, shit. Yes, I need that. Oh my god. Wait, did I not kill it? Oh my god. There we go. It sounded like a fart. I believed in you. I did not. I'll be honest, I didn't believe in me either. Easy money. I could also hit upwards, which I remembered. Monster Charger is like the easiest boss. I figured he had it. Really? I feel like some other bosses are easier. Maybe. Stupid. What are you doing, bro? Ooh, secret place. Secret place. I need to find the right angle to kill him. Whatever. Doesn't matter. You can stand in front of it and just spam slash. Oh. Wait, it's not working. Oh, in front of that. Oh, the boss, you mean. That makes sense. The hardest boss paused as any other boss. Well, I almost died to him. Ah! Can you... There we go. Why does it sound like it farts? Half the guys fart, bro. It's weird. Let's go. Top hours. Meta views. Meta views doing well. He literally farts. I came all this way for money. Really, bro? I know I'm Jewish, but... Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, what is this? You got more bots than before? Do I? Or maybe it's just people. But the bots are insane. I delete them and they just keep coming back. But they don't count as viewers, which is nice. I know someone was telling me some of the bots do, but I don't even know if that's true. That was bad. Whew. Okay. Bro! That doctor bot seems sus. True. Epicuro is a bot. True. Check out my latest video. Oh yeah, my latest video is with Jared, Upset Trisket. I think. That's a good video. The visuals aren't the best, but... Bro, am I gonna be able to survive this? I shouldn't have done that. I just lost like 1,000 life. Oh! The helmet just came off and I became dark. So that's my old self. I never realized that. That's sick. When do we have more watch time than the streamer? Yes. But it will not stay. Okay. Oh, shit. Bro, what are you doing here? I have to go all the way back there. Alright, let's do it. Let's go. It's gonna be fast because I'm freaking... I'm fast like the Flash, baby. Let's go. This month is more watch time than Doctor. My goal this month is more watch time than Doctor. I think it's possible. Especially when Doctor has to go to sleep for school or I do collabs. Oh, I could do this again. Or I do collab streams that are at, you know, the collab streams are always kind of different times, so, you know. It's hard to stream and keep a YouTube channel, I feel like. 1,000%. I recently got an editor, and he is amazing. I kind of wish I got an editor before, because it makes me be able to do a lot more stuff, which is cool. All right. Ugh. If one wants to look for an editor, I would suggest Reddit. Reddit is pretty good for an editor. I wish you could look at more of the map. All right, we're gonna try the thing. Damn it, we were so close. Wait, I think I could go from above? Maybe you're not meant to go this way yet. I'm actually a dumbass. I think I could, though. Wait, where's my guy? How do I get my shadow back? Is he gonna be in the middle of the water, bro? Oh, I gotta get to the next section. Shit, okay. You can? Okay, cool. Editors are insanely useful. No, I was... Just pogo chain? Oh, you could pogo chain? I didn't know that. Well, I can't. I don't want to lose all my money. Should I go back and be a wussy? Yes, you should. Okay. Chill. Oh, I didn't get anything from that. Did I just kill a bird? Oh, shit. I don't have enough for 1 heart. God damn it. Money is more important. Don't die, be a bitch. Okay. I was trying to find another editor for anime videos. Like anime reaction videos. Because I feel like I feel like I could make if I have an editor for that, I could just pump out videos pretty fast and make some money to spend on cooler streams, like today's stream. Is someone hosting me? The lights just changed colors. I don't know why it doesn't show when people host me sometimes. If someone's hosting me, I appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, I had an anime reactions editor, or he was gonna be an editor for me, and then he just bounced on me. Oh, he didn't bounce on me. He was like, "It's too hard to edit Japanese videos." I'm like, "Bro, what do you mean?" And then I edited it myself, and it was fine. I don't know. But I don't want to spend too much time editing. What I've realized is that the more time I spend editing, the less time I have to do a lot of stuff. Why aren't we getting any stuff? I always host you? Oh, that's sweet. Oh, me? Oh, thanks for the host, Jimmy. It's your boy, Jimmy. Anime reactions, probably fire videos, though. Yeah, like, I talk a lot, so I react a good amount, and I pause and I give input, because I also went to Japan. So, literally, in the first... So, I don't feel as bad just reacting, right? The first episode, I was like, oh, this character's name means this in Japanese. It's kind of funny how they do that. In Japan, they don't have characters named... Like, people aren't named after this, you know? Like, I actually give input, so it makes it, like, more interesting, I feel, too. But if I don't have an editor for it, I don't think it's worth my time. What just happened with that thing? But yeah. You need to actually hit it to get soul, not just their projectiles. Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought if you kill it, you could get soul, that's why. You should hire me for anime editor? If you want to, sure. But there's two things with hiring people. One is I would want them to take it very seriously. I want to upload at least daily videos every single day. Two is you have to understand that I can't pay too much, but I would give royalties in the future. So when I grow, I'll help you. Like, we would grow together. So those are the two things. But I'm also unsure if I want, like, viewers to do stuff like that, because that, like, you know, if people like me, they might want to do it, but then, I don't know. Time to eat breakfast? Alright. See ya, Nico. Favorite anime? Ooh. I'm a normie. I'll say... No, Naruto's... I like Naruto and I like Haikyuu. I like Haikyuu a lot. By the way, if you see in the background, you can see all my figures. You should be able to see it, right? Ta-da! I won every single figure there in Japanese arcades. You can't really see it that well, but it's mostly One Piece, because One Piece is huge in Japan. Haikyuu W, hell yeah! I haven't watched the latest season, so no spoilers, please. Spoilers equals automatic perma-ban. I'm big on not wanting spoilers. I was just joking, man. Oh, okay. Bon appetit. My bad, my bad. What? Why did I do that? Oh, I still survived? That was sick. Okay, I didn't realize you could chain them. What am I doing? Oh my god. I read the whole manga a year ago. Manga. IQ minuses. Hey. Love the figures and the guitar. Thank you. You've not watched One Piece? Oh, damn. What's your favorite anime? Wait, I could have just gone that way. Why did I go all the way around? That's so dumb. Shit, that's the dark area. I almost killed myself in a video game. Stop it! Stop it! This game's so scary. Bro, I've been screaming so much today. One Piece is too long. Fair enough. One Piece is very long. I don't know how I've watched every single episode. Well, I didn't watch some of the filler. But the filler... It doesn't have that much filler. Some arcs feel like fillers, but... How about Naruto? Naruto! Yeah, what's your favorite, Jimmy? And everyone else. Wait, which way? Not that way. One Piece. Okay, I would suggest checking out One Piece. All right, guys. One Piece is One Piece, but like, why did I do that? One Piece is One Piece, but basically, people. Jesus, that was scary. Oh, thank God, bro. Okay. IQ plus, let's go. Oh, it's another hole I could go down. That's what she said. Wait, can I go down this? Oh, I guess not. Best anime is obviously Mob Psycho. Oh my God, you and Mob Psycho. I might watch it for an anime. Bro, like, anime reactions channel is just so good because I don't feel like I'm wasting time watching anime. But I need an editor for that, so. Shit. Oh, I'm still good. Jesus, bro. This game's mad scary. I got you, baby. But I need an editor, as I said before. Shit, what am I supposed to do? I probably need to learn something else. Ugh, I came here for no reason. I probably need like a triple jump thing or something. Grub. I have like just tried getting into anime like last month for the first time, so sadly. All I've seen is AOT, Demon Slayer, and One Punch Man. I'm a few episodes behind on AOT, but I think AOT was my first anime. I started watching anime in high school. Demon Slayer, I'm not caught up with, and One Punch Man is great. Those are all great. All normally popular ones, I guess, but I do love them. Yeah, they are great. Mob is by the same creator, but you may or may not like it. Nice safe ping, thank you. But you just got into anime last month, and you've already watched 3 anime. Albeit those are like smaller anime, but still. I would suggest Naruto. But that's because I'm biased for loving Naruto. Guys, you can't lie. That was sexy. Bro, should I speedrun this game? I'm a god. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna speedrun it. Anyway. Please no AOT spoilers, but I love it so far. I'm on season 3 trying to catch it before it ended. Nice. No spoilers, no spoilers. Naruto is dope. Hell yeah. Very long speedruns would probably be frustrating. Oh, okay. Before it ends. You want to be there for the hype? You feel the FOMO? Yeah. I think if you had the money, or if you would want to, or you know, making an anime reactions channel and watching AOT, especially since you like haven't watched season 4 yet, would be great. I think a lot of people would love to see what's going on there, but obviously you don't have to. But I watched till season 3 and haven't watched the rest. Now I've forgotten everything, so anything can be a spoiler. Yo, in the first episode, his mom dies. That's sad. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Just kidding? Question mark? I'm just happy that Crunchyroll and Funimation have finally... Have they? Wait. I don't really get that. So that means that Crunchyroll is going to have all Funimation shows as well? And when did this happen? I'm going to go heal at the bench right here. Okay, so that we're not going to go to that area now. We could go all the way to the left area, or we could go to Fog Canyon. But I don't think Fog Canyon is worth it, because we haven't explored all of Green Path. Especially the dark areas. All of Funimation shows are on Crunchyroll apps starting today! That's awesome! Hell yeah. Like, what shows are Funimation shows that weren't on Crunchyroll before? Like, what are some examples? I hope they don't raise the price for Crunchyroll because of that, though. Bruh. I kind of wanted to do the dark, but I'm not gonna. Mushoku Tensei. Oh, that's really popular, right? Let's go to the other area. I think this is a dead end. You got a lot of geo. You could probably attend college. Thanks. I'm trying to attend college. I love that show. It's literally anime of the year. Mushoku Tensei? Oh, then it would be a great one to react to as well. I'm probably not gonna watch much anime until until I get an editor. So I hope these like streams with the video ideas will become good videos, so I could make some money, and I could hire an editor, and then I could leave everyone and retire. Just kidding. Then I could concentrate more on streaming. That was sick. Ping, you are sick. Was I ever in this area? Oh, I was. Another nice one is new egg project or something. Mm. Oh, it's this thing. It gave me the dash, didn't it? It gave me something. The map is not showing me anything else in here, so I guess I gotta go all the way left. Or I gotta explore the middle area. Let's explore the middle area. We haven't explored in a while. And we're gonna go all the way left here. Ah! Move. Oh, you could kill things like that. That's sick. Mushoku Tensei would be a great anime to react to. Nice. Is it still relevant though? Look at this penis statues. So beautiful. The black ones you can't touch because that would be racist. So you can't hit the black ones. They're shadows? What? What are you talking about? I love talking to myself. Okay, let's go. I thought I was going the right way, but I was not. Don't annoy me, little boy. We'll have to go this way. Ah! That was dumb. Am I wrong though, Epikuro? Look, look. Boom. Oh, I can't. Oh, I can't hit those either. Never mind. I am wrong. Ping Pong Moosters being wrong. What are the chances? Okay. Ah! Bruh. Jesus. That was bad. People are new to anime every day. That's true. I thought of basically doing 3 anime. Like a strategy for the anime channel. One anime would be an old anime, so I could watch a lot of episodes in case I run out of episodes to put up. One anime would be like a new anime, which would be weekly. That's very popular. You know, because that would be like viral or whatever. Potentially could get viral, those videos. And then one anime would be like an older, like a new anime, but that's not very well known in case it blows up. Yo, one of my best friends tells me to watch Yu Yu Hakusho, actually. He loves that show. But lots of new fans that didn't have Funimation are gonna start watching it. Oh, for sure. That's actually a good point. I want to watch Naruto, but kind of overwhelmed about how long it is. I was told there's a lot of filler, yeah. Maybe like 40%. Basically, the way it works is that... anime studios, animators don't get paid very well. But they were forced to kind of push out weekly episodes. So because of that, this is like old style. That's why if you look at the 3 old animes, you have Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. Like One Piece pacing is shit. It's very slow. And Naruto has a lot of fillers, and Bleach. The reason is because they had to come up with content like very often. So what ended up happening was that newer anime do it smarter. They have seasonal anime. Like an anime will come out in fall, and then the rest of the year they're just working on the anime. And every fall it comes out for like a month or 2 or whatever, or like a few months, right? For the amount of episodes that there are. So the new way is much better, but oh my god, I'm a dumbass. But yeah, you could skip the filler though. Filler is filler. Oh my, what am I doing? Oh, I have to go up here. Oh, that was cool. Did not mean to kill it. Woo, let's go. Jamie, I say if you got time, plan watching an old old anime. I mean, so Naruto has Naruto and then Naruto Shippuden, and now it has Boruto, which I don't want to spoil, but it has a sequel, so it is quite a lot to watch. Without fillers, it's a bit more doable, but if you wouldn't want to, you obviously don't have to, you know. But I love Naruto. Can you stop hitting me? Oh my god. There are guides to skip the filler. Yes, some are fun, though many are, well, very extra. True. I watched all of Naruto. I think I skipped, well, I don't want to even spoil, but some of the fillers towards the end because it was way too much. I actually, in Shippuden, I came back to the, I caught up with the show while it was airing live, and I had to wait 6 months, legit half a year, for the show to come back because of how much filler there was. Yeah, there are websites that say what episodes can be skipped for yes. Let me look for no, I don't look up anything when you look up anime stuff. Ask a friend or a family member to look up stuff, okay? Because if you don't read the manga, the Japanese comics, for those that don't know, I know Jimmy knows because Jimmy wants to go to Japan, so Jimmy knows what manga is, but you know. You're gonna find spoilers. I've been spoiled so much for so many different things because of that. What was the website? But if you look up filler guide, then it should be fine, I guess. And then just bookmark it. Beach episodes. Beach episodes in any anime is like a filler. It's so funny. Near the end of Shippuden, I got tired of waiting a whole week. Yeah. So you read the manga? I read manga in One Piece because the pacing was so shit. But I don't. The thing I like about anime is that you have sound. You don't have sounds with manga. The thing that's good about manga or manga is obviously it's faster, but you could read it at your own pace, so you don't need to worry about pacing essentially. Oh, I was here before. And then the bad thing about manga also, like most shows will have decent pacing, in my opinion, so I don't mind watching the anime. One Piece sucks ass though with pacing. Yo, this is actually crazy. What the hell? Shit. Shit. No, I restart here? Okay. I need to practice. I don't want to lose all my money. Let's... Huh? I'm an idiot. I didn't even pay attention. Oh, that was so close. Shit. No! Don't kill me, bro. Oh, that was so close. I don't know if I have anything to spend my money on in this game right now, though. Okay, we're good. There's an improved version of One Piece. Yes, that's what I was trying to say before. I'm gonna start reading the manga for One Piece. Yeah, that would probably be my recommendation for that. One Piece, I haven't watched One Piece, but I've been told, I saw a little bit. Basically, One Piece has one of the worst pacing in like any anime. And the reason's kind of what I was saying before. It's an old style anime, so it comes out with an episode every week. And instead of doing a lot of filler, they just have shit pacing. So One Pace literally takes out all the like stuff you have to, the shit pacing. So like there'll be a scene of a guy looking at another guy for like 5 minutes. One Pace will cut that scene to like 5 seconds. So it doesn't take away any of the canon, the important stuff, just the filler. To be fair, I haven't used it, but I've heard it's good. So ooh. Oh, that sounds great. Pog. Jimmy, do I have a manga for you? If you like boobs, chainsaws, and cool storyboarding, read Chainsaw. I'm sure you can find something to spend it on. Oh, maybe. Oh, I have to go to the dinosaur thing. That's not a dinosaur. I just... Nice, Pink. What are you doing? Oh. Pink, you're no noob. You know how to play video games. Ah! I'm literally making the same mistake twice. Yo, if I make it the third time, I end stream. I didn't make the mistake. Jimmy, here's a non-spoiler trailer. It better be non-spoiler, bro. Is this not the way back? Why does it look so dangerous? Oh, it's not. Never mind. I just hit him and ran away. Oh yeah, it's this way. Oh, I love that. I love that you could just jump there like that. This game's fun. Oh. Oh. Oh, that was an accident. I did not mean to do that. Damn, I don't talk much when I play this game. So I have to concentrate so hard. Okay. My bad. Looks very bloody and cool. If you, well, I always forget, like, speeding up doesn't take any mana. It feels like it does. Or like it should or something. I guess because of Elden rings. Whatever it's called. If you like One Punch Man, Attack on Titan, and One Punch Man, Attack on Titan. I am an idiot. Did I ever come here? I feel like I should heal up before doing this. And Demon Slayer. Those are all like... maybe My Hero Academia would be good. I can't go back! No! Bro, you gotta be kidding me. What? It must link... Huh? Bro, I need to spend all my money. No. Shit. The fights are nice. I'm hyped for the anime. I hope it's like Demon Slayer Season 2 levels of polish. I still haven't watched that. Sag. Whatever, I'll just not die. Could that lead to anything? Okay, we're okay. Where am I going? There's gonna be a boss, isn't there? What the hell? Did I just beat the game? Lake of Un. Huh? Huh? Oh. What the hell? Oh, rest! Yes, let's go. Okay, that was worth actually going through. We got to a lake. That's sexy. We both. I can hardly believe those dusty old highways led to such a lush and lively place. I have to kill the guy. We love Quirrell? Okay, I love Quirrell. So peaceful, let him be. Yo. Oh, shit! I thought you were peaceful. Do not lie to me. You're just one of them regular ones, though. Stupid, he should have hit me. Ah! He did hit me. Hit me, baby. Let's go. Whoa. It's just a lake. Bro, why? Wait, was I not supposed? I was trying to jump in front of him so I could talk to him. I thought I could talk to him, but he attacked me. I didn't want to attack him. I'm a lover. I'm not a killer. I'd wager up there it would take you far. I need to get a better weapon. Easy. Yeah, you see? Jimmy understands. He wasn't peaceful. I feel like I could come back here later. Maybe. That was cool, though. Easy. Let's see what's up here. Does it link back? It does. Okay, that makes sense. No IQ minus. I just didn't get near him in my playthrough. Oh. I was curious to see what was going on. Alright, let's go spend our money. That's all this guy does, bro. Oh, yeah. I murdered him without a second thought. Don't worry. Okay. I feel better now. Why is he grunting like my grandpa when he has sex with my grandma? What? What are you saying? Oh, that's the annoying guy. I want to unlock this, but I'm too sucky. All right, let's see what we could buy. Wait, what was here? I don't remember. Huh? Oh, this is where I came from. I'm a dumbass. I literally just left and came through the same place. Here's the store. Do you have anything for me?
Bapanada.
Bapanada. A token marker. Whatever. I have so much money, I might as well buy everything. There's just more markers, which I'm not even using.
Bapanada.
Bapanada. NKG. I think what makes the video output lag is new assets loading. Oh, did it lag again? This guy is like, oh shit. You wear that kneel with ease. Meet me there. Ooh. I can't attack you now though. Oh, it's not like Elden Ring. Oh, I still don't have that. Watch the key for that be my nail. You gonna go to bed? Been up since 6. Wow. No worries. Thanks for popping in. I gotta catch one of your streams soon. You just stream around the same time I do. Or you stream around 7 p.m. Eastern, from what I remember. But have a great night. And thanks for popping in. And let me know, update me on your anime watching experience. Look at everyone being so nice. Jimmy. Check out Jimmy if you haven't already and you like Mario Kart, by the way, guys. Oh, this is the Forgotten Crossroads. Do I have access to other stuff now here, actually? Maybe, I probably do, right? Thank you for hanging out. Sorry, I would stay. Just classes have wiped me out. No, no worries. Hey, you do you, man. I don't want anyone to feel like, you know, they gotta stay for me or whatever, you know? Thanks for hanging out. Yeah. Have a great night. Or you know, well, try to have a great night. I'm probably gonna get a flashlight at some point in this game, huh? These guys are so easy to take out now. Never mind. I take it all back. I suck at video games. I have so much money, but I can't use it, any of it. IQ plus, let's go. Okay, let's go to the right over here. I'm assuming my dash will allow me to traverse certain areas. Oh, we've already checked out this area. I forgot what the problem was. Oh, we couldn't go down. We needed to get something to go down here. But we didn't know what. Oh, we still don't have access to this area. Okay. I'm starting to remember each area too, which is cool. Whee! Whee! Ooh, did he make any progress? He says you could join me, but how am I supposed to mine? I got a nail. Welcome back, Nico. How you doing? Well, you're doing well. Okay. So, I'm gonna go down and to the right. You're doing good? Great to hear. Hell yeah. Down and to the right. Oh, this is also a dark area. But this isn't... Ow. This isn't the first area, so it should be easier, right? The hell? What the hell? I guess I don't have access to anything here. He's such a nice guy. I know you'll become close friends. Who? Me and your dad? First try Gruz mother. Oh, is that a boss in that area? It seems like I don't have access to that area. I might be wrong, but Pokemon Anime War. The minor bug in you? Oh. Don't worry about it. Okay. Oh, is that what I'm gonna find soon? Probably, yeah. Let's go. What is Pokemon Anime War more mature story? I don't know. What is that? What are you talking about? What you talking about, bro? Oh, I remember these bosses. Damn, they're so strong. Ow! Damn, they got little babies. Let's go. Y'all gotta have more faith in thing. Huh. Ah, that was an accident. I pressed the wrong button. Don't have faith in me. I can't even press the right button. Let's go. Live stream is buffering a little bit. Oh, I see it now. Thank you. I say thank you as if I could do something about it, but I guess I could. Wait. I can make the quality even worse. Shit. What am I doing? $1280 by $720. It might be because of assets loading in. Honestly, does that even look bad, guys? 1280 by 720. Oh, it actually does look a bit different. But to you guys, it probably... actually, let me know. How does it look to you guys? It only happens when you enter a new area? Oh, okay. I can't tell? Okay, good. I could tell slightly, but it's not like that bad. I break all the statues. Oh, am I gonna verse the guy I just saw? But before that, what is this? Oh, that's like... Ah! Does he go with the music? No way he goes... Oh, no, he doesn't. What the hell? Chill, bro. Oh, there's gates. That was so easy. I still can't tell the difference. I'm a beast. Let's go. Huh? Oh. Easy, baby. What the hell is that? I got more hurt by that guy. Whoa. See, why don't y'all believe in him? I killed a pregnant mom and I liked it. That sounds weird. You wield your nail like a club. What a strange day. If you hadn't found me, I don't think I would have woken up. I'm Sly. Cool. If you return above, come and see me. Nice! Let's go. That's a combo then. Yes. Ooh, this door is closed. Interesting. And we're back here. Oh, this is all not... We need to find a bench. We'll keep exploring for now, though. Where'd you come from? Are there two doors? Oh, no, there's one. What the hell? All right, let's save. That sounds really sussy baka right here. Oh, this is so cool. I love how, like, you can go back to older areas and stuff. Whoa. Salubra. Ooh, she sells charms. Yes. How do I get more I'm gonna need to get more notches somehow. Once you own 18 charms. Ooh, okay, finally, somewhere I could spend money. Have you ever drunk that bright blue? This charm seeps lifeblood and will certainly improve your constitution. Oh, it gives me more life. Ooh, this gives me a longer nail. You'll be able to stay firmly in place when swinging your little nail around. If you ever learn any spells, you should buy this charm. The crystal set in the center. I heard the crystals help you to focus. So if that's something you're interested in, you should take. Okay, so this helps my focus. I'm gonna end up buying all of them probably. For now, I'll just buy the first two. I don't have spells, so that one doesn't make sense. Notch! I'm an idiot. I didn't see the notch. Damn it. Oh, once you own 10 charms, I'll oh, okay. It doesn't matter. We're good here. I can't afford to buy these. I need 10 charms for this one. But I might as well buy more charms. Even if I can't use it, I might as well buy it. Okay, that was actually so good, baby. Hell yeah. Oh, this is a spot I have to mark on the map. I mean, it's already marked on that map. Okay. Let's see what we just got. Conjure. Oh, this is just the stuff I have. Yes, we have a 4 now. Allows one to stay steady. I don't really care about that. Increases the range. These two seem really good. We'll get a coating of white blood. Whispers its location. Allows wanderers to pinpoint their current location. Wait, if I don't have this on. Or is this always on? How do you change them? Bro, she's so annoying, bro. Oh my god. Can you chill? Open the chart. Oh yeah, I have to go on the bench. Most new players really like Boulder Shell. Yeah, you said I would like it. I read it. I don't really like it from what I read. Oh my god, can you stop? So if I do this, my location won't show on the map? Oh, it doesn't. That feels like one of the most useful ones, to be honest. Okay. We gotta keep the compass, I feel. The compass. We don't have any spells, so we can't do that. I guess we could do steady body. Hard shell while focusing. Protects us better. Nah, wait, it shatters. So does this charm, like, are there some charms that are only temporary? Temporary? I want to hit further away. And we'll do steady body just because we have nothing else. Whoa, look at that grasp, bro. It was worth coming here. Hell yeah. I got so cocky. I just went all out. This is not one of them? Oh, okay. Maybe I'll check out Boulder Shell later then. Okay, so that's everything there. That was really useful. That was the end of that, right? It shows like there's something more to the right, but... Oh, maybe I could break that later. Who knows? Steady body is nice, one of my favorites. So you could hit without moving? Like without any stuff happening, I guess? How many hours does this... Probably not needed for exploring, but good for boss. But yeah, I don't want to use the steady body part. The only reason I have it is for because I have nothing else to fit there. That's why these harder bosses are here. That's so cool. Ow. Okay, I was looking at my map, but okay. Easy. I basically never use steady body. Yeah, I don't think I would otherwise use it. But it's cool that Dina likes it. That means like a lot of people have a lot of different things to use. Huh. Bothering me while I'm traversing the land. Oh, I haven't seen those before. Oh, they're only one hits. Or maybe not. I forgot what I normally used. Lol. Lol. Was that a train? Huh? Why does it show like I've explored this area before? Oh no, it doesn't. I'm dumb. Alright, let's go to this. Shit. Just for coins. Look what this man does for coins. For like 10 coins. I need a new favorite Pokemon. Why? Dragonite is pretty cool. That was so cool. You can't even lie, guys. That was sexy. There's a secret spot there. I wonder if I should... Or is that where we came from? I don't remember already. What the hell? Oh. Oh. Okay, I definitely can't do that yet. Charizard is fat? So what? Charizard was his favorite. Well, I mean, you figured that out now, but... Oh, it feels so nice to have the longer sword now as well. What is this? And spoiled. True, in the shows at least. Yo, the map is so big, but so interesting to traverse at the same time. What the hell? Whoa. Oh, there's a door. A door with an open slot. Ooh, cool. We'll be coming back here. Flygon is my favorite. What do you think, Nico? Flygon is really cool. Not too much fat. Yeah, Flygon is not fat, if that's what you're looking for. I thought that sometimes I think things are benches and they're just not. Did I explore that whole area? I did not. I missed the left side, right? Do the maps connect? Oh no, they do. What am I saying? Damn. Whoever made this game probably spent a lot of time just making everything connect. Oh, this is where we came from before. I think I missed one area. Let's go. Ow. I think it was this area. Oh, nope. Okay, I think we got everything. Nice. Huh. I guess we'll just go to the left side now. That was a lot of stuff to, like, go through. Jesus. Where do I want to go here? Ah! Stop shooting me. Stop! I would go left. I want to explore as much as I can of this right now. Ooh, oh, this is the fog. It leads back to the fog. Huh? Oh, shit. I think we've been here before, too. I wish there was an easier way to teleport to different areas sometimes, though. But the cool thing is you could get coins from, like, enemies. So it doesn't feel like wasting time when you traverse back. And you feel like a cool kid. Yeah, we went that way. So pretty much we've explored almost everything we can here. Right side, at least. There's a stag nearby, but you haven't found it. Do I have access to it? Okay. Oh, these are so much easier to kill now, too. You just keep walking past it? Oh. We'll go back there. We'll go back there in the future. It's okay. Let's go. We're gonna go all the way to the left. There must be something there. Stop shooting me. Oh, we're going the right way. Whoa, what the hell? Oh, we've seen this. Oh no, he said sorry I've missed you. The hell? Oh, I remember this. I remember this. I remember this. We do have someone all the way up. Oh, that was close. All the way up top waiting for us. Oh, shit. Why have I never gone here? Ooh, because I didn't have the dash, probably. This is another boss? I hate that how the little one hits me, too. Eesh. That was somehow good. Hey, it's one of y'all. You're welcome. Let's go. Ooh, that was close. Bing bong. Did I turn off? I hope you guys could use all the rewards now, right? I hope I didn't forget to unpause them. Ooh, that was cool. Alright, let's find a place to... Let's go back to up top. We're gonna go all the way back up, baby. Oh my god, I'm actually trash. Imagine I died here. Couldn't be me. What am I doing? Oh, I might actually die. Hydrate is unavailable, so I assume others aren't. Really? Want a jelly bean? No, I don't. We're actually going to be ending stream soon, most likely. We're going to have smaller streams.
Jelly bean time.
Thanks for the jelly bean. I'm getting so cocky. Jelly bean time. No Mario? Oh yeah, I forgot about Mario. I actually forgot about Mario. I remembered before doing Hollow Knight and I was thinking maybe I'll do Mario. Yeah, let's do a run of Mario for sure actually. Huh? Why does this feel so weird? There we go. No prob, bro. Anytime. I'll eat it. I'll eat it. Before that, let me heal. Oh, the next store. Let's go. That's the guy that went up. There he is. Okay, gole. Damn, he's so loud. It's a mask shard. A vessel. Oh, I can understand what that's for. Piece of a soul vessel. I'll have to charge you a high price. Key! Key! This charm will make sure that any loose change fight. Oh, it's like a magnet. Yes, actually that's... Oh, but it's a notch cost. It's a notch cost. Magnet seems so useful though. This charm grants you more time to recover after taking damage. Take this bright little fellow as your companion. Oh, flashlight. Oh, we found a lot of things here. An egg. Let's buy the egg. It's cheap. I didn't realize there's so much to buy in this game. Lamo bought the egg. Yeah, it's free. What's this game? It's bad. This is Hollow Knight. It's pretty cool. Is the egg useless? Whatever. It was cheap. I guess I'll save here. You could just quit and it saves, right? If you're interested, watch them out. No competition. That's the problem. It's bad for the market. It's bad luck egg? Wait, really? Oh. People say it's a bad luck egg, or there's a good chance you'll never find its use. Oh, okay. We'll do one full run, no matter how bad it is, okay? Just to get that daily practice. This jelly bean actually tastes okay. Thank you. I got ya. Actually tastes okay. It's not sure you're thinking of something else. Oh. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Okay, now I'm gonna turn off stuff. Let's open the ROM. It's gonna be very loud. Unless it's not.
It's me, Mario.
There we go.
Hello.
Bow, 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 da, 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 da. You guys might be saying, where is Mario? You will see. You will see Mario. Okay? Okay. Okay. I just need him to show on OBS. I'm gonna go to game capture, turn it on. You guys could hear Mario though, I think, right? There we go. Change the category. Mario. Super Mario. Last run we had a I'm a noob. Last time we had a good run. We got, well, decent run. We got a PB. We'll see how this goes. Where's Mario? Here he is. Uh-oh. I'm an idiot. There's Mario. There's Mario. Where's Mario? Where's Mario? Where's Mario? Why are you riding your dog, bro? Sussy? What's weird about riding my dog? Let's pretend I didn't say that. There it is. Oh, this actually, I'm not gonna lie, this game is fun, man. I know I was going crazy yesterday, and I said I wouldn't play this game for a week, and then I said, oh, I would play it every day, at least one run. Honestly, I'm excited to do a run right now. It's a me, Mario. Guys, put a prediction if I'll get sub 25 or sub 24. Mods, do it if you want. No pressure anymore. Yeah, exactly. Just fun. Fun, and it's still a chance to PB or sub 20. That's the cool thing. And I screwed up already. No pressure anymore. Speaking of riding dogs. Will I do smash or pass on Pokemon? I considered it. That's a good question. A lot of people are doing it. I feel like the problem with me is I talk a lot. I get into the reasonings a lot. Like that video, if I would have made a video like that, it would be like literally 10 hours long. I would like explain how Beedrill's drilly hands are very pointy and that could feel nice in my butt. But I don't know if like I would get into detail like that. Oh my god, I actually did it. What if I say Gardevoir is my new favorite? Gardevoir is fine to be your favorite Pokemon. I mean, it's a little sussy baka, but, you know, it's okay. Reasoning in this topic specifically is the magic of it. But you don't understand. It would be an insanely long video. Bellsprout. Maybe it's not my day. Why? What happened? Probably the weirdest question I've made. Probably. That was bad. But it's okay. That was that was worse. But it's okay. Wow. Guys. Guys. Can you guys believe we did a whole month of this? It actually feels like this is an old game that I haven't played in centuries. It's so weird. Ooh, we got some channel points on yes for sub 25 and no on sub 25. I think we'll get sub 25. I feel confident. But I could screw up a lot. We got a copycat in our midst. You can divide it by generations, 8 times more content. You see, that's what I was doing with tier lists. I was doing the cutest Pokemon, right? Like, you remember that. You guys remember it. You were all there for it, I think. Unless, you know, some lurkers weren't, which is fine, obviously. You could do that. Fairy said you can't. You could do it. Anyway. The problem ended up being that people didn't really watch it. And I think some people got tired of it on stream. So both of those things made me kind of stop it. We got up to the 3rd gen too. Like just doing 1 gen took me like so long. Nice ping. I'm trying to want to make like content that is just a bit crazier. I wasn't there. Yo, oh, that was so good. You always say I wasn't there. When it comes to water type, my favorite is Totodile. Totodile's cool. So you probably like the new fire starter, yeah, Nico? I don't know if you know there's a new Pokemon game announced, Nico. I wanted to elaborate. Markiplier said he would bang an ice cream, and I still wonder how. Well, you could ask me individual Pokemon, and I could tell you. I think only if I was a big streamer, I would do that. Or maybe I'll change my mind in the future. Who knows? Or a big YouTuber. I don't know if I would... It's pretty cute. The ice cream Pokemon's... Its eyes look insane. Like, it would kill you. And it kill you. It looks like a cute girl that you're like, oh my god, I can't believe she's with me. But then she stabs you in the middle of the night. Because she secretly hates you. So I would smash, but I would hesitantly smash. Stay mad, sad, El Bozo. I'm not even mad, but okay. It's ooey gooey. God, if you wanna have... Never mind. Oh, that was good. It's ooey gooey and cools you right down if there's too much friction. That's even a better reasoning. Would you bang Bellsprout? No, I feel like Bellsprout is a minor. I was just writing the same damn question. I would smash hard. Yeah, I would. You would smash Bellsprout? Sheesh. I mean, cool. Would smash Pikachu? I'll smash Raichu. I think Pikachu is a minor too. I gotta be careful. I'm a streamer, you know. But yeah, I would probably smash Pikachu if it isn't a minor. Pikachu's mad cute. Pikachu is one of the cutest Pokemon. I mean, if you look at my cute tier list, that's pretty much what I would smash. So, all the videos are archived on the Video Archive channel. Oh, yeah. Would you smash Mewtwo? I think I would get smashed by Mewtwo, and then I wouldn't be able to walk. I might even... Oh, my God. I might even die trying to smash Mewtwo, so probably not Mewtwo. Raichu or a Alolan Raichu? Threesome. I'll do a threesome. I mean, Alolan Raichu is like... I can't tell if it's hot or ugly. It's like one or the other. The colors are really weird or kind of unique. So I think if I was drunk enough, I would be like, yo, Alolan Raichu, let's do it. Which Sandshrew? No, Sandshrew is too pokey. I think it would rip my butthole in half. They're almost all based on animals that have less than an 18-year lifespan. Yeah, but like, you don't consider a dog that's 12 years old, 12 years old, right? It's already an elderly dog, right? So, I didn't read the rest of your message, though. You might have addressed that. Yeah, I mean, technically, I shouldn't say I want to smash any of them. Because they're all animals, right? And that's bestiality, and that's illegal. So I guess it's fine to say that I would smash Pikachu. Pikachu's mad hot, bro. He's like pointy, but circular, and his pointiness doesn't take away from him. You know? Like, his pointy ears are not going to do anything to you when you have sex with him, you know? Whereas, like, Raichu, like, when you have, like, Beedrill, like, these are Pokemon that have literal, like... These are Pokemon that's hands would, like, literally rip your asshole apart, so... If the Pokemon could go to the breeder, then they're fine. Otherwise, you lose all your options. I guess you're right. If they go to the breeder, they're old enough. No one asks how old a Pokemon is. Cresselia? Hell yeah, bro. Cresselia is hot, bro. Bro, hell yeah, I would smash Cresselia. Dialga? Maybe? Dialga's a tricky one. Would you smash Jinx? Nah. Jinx is like one of those girls that dresses up way too much. Like I get it. Like, you like me. Like, chill. That could have been a gold split if I didn't fuck that up, I think. Yeah. I want a woman like you two. I do want a strong woman. I feel like all the women I had crushes on when I was younger were all the girls I had crushes on when I was younger were all like strong. Like, or at least they seemed strong, like emotionally, mentally, whatever. Yo, Katara is too young, bro. But yeah, when I was a kid, I wanted to smash Katara. Not Korra, though. Because when Korra came out, I wasn't as much of a kid. But you make a good point, because Korra is like a strong, independent woman. But she's like... She complains a lot. Not saying that women complain a lot. Maybe sometimes they do. But... Korra does. Korra was also like a whiny teenager. Just too much of a teenager. So I never really saw her that way, to be honest. Katara, though. Especially since I was a kid. Yeah, Katara, you know. She's brown, I'm brown. She's a cartoon character. I'm a streamer. She likes Aang. I think Aang is cool. Pheromosa? What was that, the Ultra Beast? Maybe Nahel and Go, or whatever it's called. The white one, yes. Because that's like tentacles, you know? I really hope my mom's not watching right now. Would you smash Mew? Mew's like a child. But it's also like very old, but it's kind of childlike. Maybe if I was very drunk and I knew that Mew was like an old and very old celestial being, then I would, yeah. Mewtwo's the only one that can consent. Yeah, Mewtwo's the only one that's actually like human-like and not an animal. Actually, that's not true. There's other... Wow, that was terrible. There's other Pokemon that are made by humans. But made by humans and human-like is different, so... So yeah, I don't know. Oh my god, I just gotta look at that. Mew can transform. Definitely smash Mew. The thing is, Mew can transform, but then Mew could, like, hit you over, like, you don't even expect it. It could just transform into a... You know, a muck. And then you're just like, what are you doing, Mew? If it could be... It feels like a very trolly Pokemon, you know? I want a woman that's built like Mewtwo. Thick thighs, some chest. Really? I mean, I want them to be strong. I don't want them to be strong physically. I mean, I don't care about that, I guess. I watch One Piece, but I'm not up to date. So don't spoil. If you spoil, you get permabanned. Like, no joke. I will permanently ban you. But yeah. Oh, I thought I missed that. Is Mr. Mime human? No. I mean, Mewtwo can have thoughts and, like, communicates its thoughts and stuff. Mr. Mime. Oh my god, that was so good. Porygon could get it. There's Gorlook also. What do you mean, Muck is hot? I guess, yeah, Muck could... It would... The texture of Muck would probably feel really good. You know what I mean? We all had a crush on Katara. Let's go. Let's go. We just smash Muck. Maybe. I guess I didn't think... Okay, well, I guess maybe. Lucario can consent because he could talk in that one movie. Yeah, but Pikachu could talk in one... They made a remake of the original movies, and Pikachu was able to talk. I don't know. I'm gonna get permabanned? Damn, I'm gonna get permabanned. I'm not joking, like... And if you make another account, I will permaban that. I will take you out of the Discord, everything. Like, that's one thing I don't joke around with. That was bad. That could have been Gold Split if I didn't mess it up. I thought that Pikachu talking scene was in Ash's mind. Oh, was it? I just remember people going at the theaters crazy because of how crazy it was. And Smash Detective Pikachu. Lucario could talk to Ash. I'd probably smash Lucario. Lucario's mad hot. Wow, he clipped through me. That's always nice. I'm actually kind of getting mad now. Maybe it wasn't a smart idea. Okay, good. I'm on the 25th episode. What can I spoil? Oh. Are you enjoying it? I'm smashing Ash. Ash is like 10 years old, so it makes sense for you, God, but... First run and last run. It's actually so fun to do. I'm not gonna lie, like... This is much more fun than I would ever expect it to be. I'm really happy I'm doing this. We might do one run after this, but Ash can catch these balls. Nah, Ash is not even that hot, bro. When I was a kid, though, Misty. Yeah, Misty's nice. Was nice. I don't think I've ever even watched Detective Pikachu. Or maybe I did, I don't remember. But I heard it was really good. Ash was 10 25 years ago. Even though he's still 10, I can give him that I can give that argument. Yeah, but it's like those anime girls, like fairies that look like they're 5 years old, but they're 1,000 years old. And you're just like, bruh. I guess it's fine. They're 1,000. I really need to practice this. My submarine is trash. I screwed that up. We're gonna ignore that. We'll have a crush on the Gen 9 water gym leader. Oh, Gen 9. They didn't even release Gen 9 yet, bro. That's Scarlet and Violet. But lolies? Yeah, kind of. Would you consider them lolies? With Ryan Reynolds, yeah. I like Ryan Reynolds. I mean, I think a lot of people like Ryan Reynolds. You know, when you're a subtle type of funny, it's like a lot of people like that, you know? It's just great. Like Norm Macdonald. Well, he wasn't subtle, but the way he would deliver things was subtle. Okay, I've learned not to long jump there. Because apparently you can't. That's what I was gonna do. No, I missed it. Bad run. Nami is hot? Nah, Nami's overrated. She has a huge head, bro. And like, Oda draws all his characters to have bigger boobs and smaller waists. So much so that it doesn't even look good. It looks like nasty. It looks like those models that are way too skinny. I don't like it. Like, she looked good in the beginning. And they just screwed it up. We'll have a she's still pending to appear. Yeah. Pre-crush. I'm smashing Ryan Reynolds. Zorro is hot. Zorro is hot, bro. I'm not gay, but he's a good looking guy. I don't know how I'm able to grab his tail, bro. Oh. And how that hit. I'm smashing. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is mad hot too. Who did I like in One Piece? I mean, Nami is hot. Don't get me wrong, but they did it so much. Like, it's too exaggerated at this point. Who is hot in One Piece? I don't know. Oh, the girl that puts people to stone, maybe? Robin can get it any day. Robin's kind of similar. Her head was weird originally, and Nami's. And then they fixed their heads, but then they made their boobs so much bigger, and it's too unrealistic. I don't like it when it's so unrealistic. Like hentai that has like boobs that are like insanely huge. I don't like that. Medusa? Yeah, she was like Medusa. She turns people. Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but I forgot her name though. I got one. Luffy. Nah, Luffy is childish. He's just chill. Guys, are we gonna get a PB? If we can get it any day of the week, even in the school. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but there's a certain arc where a lot of ladies like his, you know, like him. They look at his penis, they're like, whoa. How does that not go through, bro? My anime crush is Winry. Who's Winry from Pokemon? The girl that has the mill tank? That's understandable. I don't remember her in the anime, but they see whose penis? They see Luffy's penis. And they've never seen, like, they get really, no, they see his balls. But if they see his balls, they see his penis. Full Metal Alchemist? Oh, wait, the main character is like girl that would fix his stuff? I think she was cute. Yeah, I don't remember how she looks. Yeah. Gum Gum fruits can stretch any part. True. I don't get it, bro. Oh. It's so hard to get that well. The mechanic. I based my piercing off her. Jesus. That's dedication. That was better. I can't even get in. That's what she said. Okay, we could get a gold split here. But I don't know if we will, because I called the split a bit late. Damn it. Ooh. Oh my god, bro. Hours of practice have made this so much easier. Damn it, that felt so good. Whatever, it's fine. That did not. I'm smashing Aaron. Aaron is mad hot. I think it's over exaggerated, but he's hot. That was not to the left enough. Let's go. I should have long jumped here in the past. People said to dive here. Will it be sub 25? Oh, that's actually close. It might not be. It's just too low on left ear and too low and high on right ear. I didn't realize you had so many piercings. I know you said it's just, but... Come here, big boy. Damn it! Come here, big boy. Oh my god, Pink, come on. Bro. Okay, I'm not doing it. The bone guy from One Piece. Yo ho ho ho, yo ho ho ho. What's his name? Yo ho ho ho. Brooke, yes. Wait, how do you know about Brooke if you haven't watched that much? 6 is a lot compared to normal now, but compared to piercing enthusiasts, it's not a lot. Makes sense. It's like tattoos. Like having 3 tattoos is not much, but the random person, it's like, bro, you got 3 tattoos? Well, depending on what size and where you have them and stuff, but... Bro, I am sucking. This is not sub 25. Usually when I get the first one, I get a lot of the other ones, though. I don't know how the hell I grabbed this tail and didn't die. That's good. Oh, that made no sense, but I'll take it. That's good. Let's go. You're not smashing browser, I see. Ooh, sub 25, guys. You're on edge. I mean, they're all in the ear too, though. Pog, pog, pog. Let's go. Let's go. Episode 25, season 7. Oh. I don't... What is that in all the episodes, though? Chi-chi. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the... Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I just so, like... I am so appreciative of how much you guys do for me. So appreciative that I'm about to end stream. I am gonna end though. Bless me. I just have a lot of stuff to do, unfortunately. Sorry, guys. Also was inspired by Vegito and Dio. Oh, nice. That's cool. As long as you don't regret it, it's cool. Guys, should I keep the mustache? It actually doesn't look that bad right now, huh? Actually, I kind of like how it looks. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Keep it. Pog. Let's go, 3600. I can spam. You can. It's a war between the IQs. I feel like streaming more because it's really good vibes, but you know, I shouldn't. Why'd you do something? Nah. Delete the prediction. Let's rate someone actually. Let's rate someone. I'm gonna look at my list. We haven't rated some people in a while. Oh, Shadow is streaming. Triple G is streaming. Zeus is streaming. Sammy, Dalton, everyone is streaming. I don't know who to raid. Oh, there isn't another one? Oh, it's just showing the results of it. I'm dumb. Who do we raid? I kind of want to raid Shadow. I don't think I've ever raided him. And he's trying to stream more often. And he comes on stream, like most of you guys know him. I got one. We'll save yours for next time. I do want to raid Shadow. Perhaps Radiant Crescent. Yeah, you guys could sometime, like when I ask for suggestions, definitely give me, but for now we're gonna raid Shadow. I don't hate you, I'm just have a great night, guys. And Godspeed to you all. See you tomorrow. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. I'm not gonna bend over. Good night.
Hey, shouts out to my man Ping Pong with the raid, bro. Very much appreciated, dog. How was the stream? I have it up. I'm still lurking. Ding dong. Ding.